Good afternoon. Evening. Sorry, y'all. Got my time mixed up. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Today's live I'm going to preface it with a Bible verse. I don't normally get all churchy, I don't do all that. But I thought that this particular scripture, it was laid upon my heart today to share before we get started. And it's coming from the book of John, the 8th chapter and the 32nd verse. And it says, "And ye shall know the truth." Y'all can finish it in the chat. "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Miss Veronica got it. Make you free. It's all about the truth. Another one. "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Ain't God good? What's done in the dark? What happens to things that are done in the dark? What happens to things that are done in the dark? Oh, okay. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We're going to have a great time tonight. I'm going to do my spiel, and then I'm going to open up the chat because I need to hear, what everybody's opinion on everything, on the coaching hires, on the lack of a coach that's been hired yet, on the catfishing. The first thing that I want to do with 1 hour left, we have literally 1 hour left. And whether you're from other schools in the SWAC or if you're in the MEAC, we still love to support other HBCU students and whatever they have going on. I'm going to copy and paste a Twitter post. I need y'all to go over there, and I need you to hit Terrell and Gonzalez. He's an HBCU commit, and it's a poll to win $5,000 from Kroger. So go right on ahead and just click on that button. Yes, Miss Veronica, we really do want to hear from you. Yes, let there be light. You know what? When the light starts shining on something that's not the truth, what happens? The roaches and the rats start scattering, but what happens? You uncover the truth. You uncover the truth. So I will be every 5 to 10 minutes telling y'all to go to this Twitter page. Every 5 to 10 minutes, I'll be telling you to go to this Twitter page. Let me get out my wonderful commercials before we begin. I would like to start off by saying that I am so appreciative to Mr. Campbell. And of course, as you all know, I am a brand ambassador of I Weave Hair. And I would just like to share with you this holiday hair that we have, this sale that we have coming up for the winter. And you know, it's Christmas is coming. What woman doesn't like bundles? So we have for I Weave Hair, holiday hair, your holiday hair will scream fabulous with I Weave's Alpha collection. If you buy two, you get one half off. Buy two, get one half off. So, and you use checkout code IWeaveHoliday, and this actually starts today. The sale starts today, and it runs through the 20th. If a kiss begins with K, holiday hair begins with I Weave. I Weave, do you? So, iweavehair.com, y'all. iweavehair.com. I also would like to tell you a little bit about a new sponsorship that I have. theshirts.online. Everybody can see that? These shirts. And I have my SheLovesThee shirt on. It's actually a crop sweater. And I have a giveaway. Drum roll. I have a giveaway. This sweater, it says I love thee. I love thee. It's a sweater from theshirts.online. And guess what? I have other items that I will be giving away. So this is what you have to do in order to get one of the shirts. I'm going to show you what you have to do. Let me see. Outside of the fact that y'all have to go over there and vote, I'm going to show you what you have to do to be entered into this beautiful contest. You have to go to These Shirts online. Follow at These Shirts Online. This is on Instagram. So the name is These Shirts Online. The first picture, it's of a white sweater. I want you to comment #TheILove and at me in it, SheLovesThee. And I will be sending out that sweater to one of the persons, maybe even two people will be sent an item from These Shirts.online. Once again, that's theshirts.online. So you go to their Instagram page, and the Instagram name is These Shirts Online. I'm going to drop that in the chat. Go to that first page where it says TheILove and comment #TheILove and at SheLovesThee. And one of y'all are going to win. And of course, Miss Whitley is reminding everybody, even if you are from FAMU, if you're from Bethune-Cookman, if you are from the MEAC, the SIAC, there might be a couple of Colorado folks on here after the news that just dropped today. Y'all can go over there and vote for Ethan as well. Yes, ma'am. I got you, Miss Jeffries. I got you. All right. So now that I've gotten all those measurables out, let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. Y'all, what do y'all want me to start off with? Comment in the chat. You want me to start with basketball? You want me to go straight to the 3-star we just got that just dropped, that just got flipped? Where y'all want to start at? Let me know in the chat where y'all want to start. You want to talk about Southern? You want to talk about Grambling? Let me know where y'all want to start at. Y'all want to talk about a certain player who? No, we ain't gonna talk about the certain player who committed to a school that didn't commit to them. We're not gonna talk about that right now. So where y'all want to start? All right, straight to the football. It is World War III out in these Twitter streets. If you haven't been following, which is another reason why we are voting so heavy for Ethan Terrell, is because he is a recruiting machine. Ethan Terrell, whose mother is a graduate of Jackson State University, is a quarterback from Louisville High School. And Quay Davis, who played this season as a true freshman, he is also from Louisville High School. And so Ethan Terrell just bought his whole O-line. He just said, how about all y'all come to Jackson State? All of y'all come to Jackson State. He has a career total yards of 6,706 total yards, 85 touchdowns, and 31 wins. That's Ethan Terrell, the quarterback. Now, how was Ethan Terrell able to do all of that with this awesome offensive line that he had? And so this is who committed today. Now, of course, we have a slew of offensive line commitments. A slew. Like, we have a ton. And this is basically a big commit because 247 Sports has him crystal balled somewhere else. And they haven't changed his 3-star status at this point. It's still at 3 stars. So y'all go ahead and screenshot that up. His name is Devin Love. He is an inside offensive lineman. 247 Sports has him ranked at 85, 232nd rank out of Texas. His overall composite is a 3-star. And oh, they changed it. He was crystal balled to San Diego State. So they changed it to Jackson State today, obviously. That must have been today that they changed it. Yep, they changed it today that he's at Jackson State, because he was actually crystal balled to San Diego State. They actually had it at 100% for him to go to San Diego State. And he's not the only 3-star that we have on our offensive line. Iron sharpens iron. We have some of our offensive line that is no longer going to be with us is, of course, Deontay Graham. He declared for the draft. Evan Henry, as a graduate transfer, has entered into the transfer portal. That's the center. I know y'all over there clowning in the comments. I'm not even going to indulge right now. I'm just going to keep talking. I'm not going to indulge. Let me see if I can announce some of these recruits. Let me go to my page. So Antonio Ross Jr. is an offensive guard. He's 6'5", 345 pounds. He's from Hartfield Academy in Flowood, Mississippi. So once again, we are getting these young men to come to Jackson State. As of right now, for the offensive line, we have, I don't know why he doesn't have his real name in here. L.T. Brown Jr. is committed to Jackson State. I'll just share his Instagram so you can follow him. This is one of our commits. Who makes commitment graphics? Now look now. Y'all are not getting ready to be committing to whichever school of choice on my live. We not doing that over here. You're not going to have me interviewing you, asking you what made you reopen your. Right now it says that he's a JSU commit, or he's part of the JSU committee. So this is his Instagram that I'm going off of. This is underneath here. Let's see who else we got. Big Courtney. Big Courtney is Courtney Lyles, 6'5", 295 pounds. He's an offensive lineman. He's from Provine High School. Good Lord. They getting them all out of the SIP. All of them. The SIP in Texas. The SIP in Texas. But that 3-star was huge. Ethan Terrell was able to steal that one from San Diego State. And once again, I'm going to ask for everybody to go to Ethan Terrell's page and make sure that you vote for him so that he can win $5,000. Well, it's going to go towards his school. So it looks like we have less than an hour left. And we need 100 votes. We got 100 folks up on this chat. Uh-oh, Miss Veronica said that I'm going to get an interview with a player. I haven't interviewed a player yet. Uh-oh, Mr. Haynes, the MEAC's in the chat. So we're going to talk about, of course, Chennisberry today. So once again, that was probably one of our biggest highlights of the day, is to be able to flip that 3-star. But as you can see, the battle of the trenches is not over. We've had defensive end offers going out, defensive tackle. Once again, make sure that if you are on Twitter, I know you don't care about what's going on at South Carolina State. It's literally just going to be an announcement. That's all. Just an announcement. I would love to. I think, are you a quarterback or a defensive back? All right. Let me just get this out the way, okay? I'm going to make my comment about this, and then we're going to move on. We're going to move on. So, allegedly, Southern was doing interviews with folks, and they were acting like they were the next Deion Sanders. They were quoting FBS prices for FCS schools. So this is my thing. If you haven't won a championship as a head coach, or I don't know, I'm just a little bit scared at the fact that coaches think they're supposed to make $1 million at the FCS level. You're not prime. You're not prime. At this point, you should have kept Dooley, because Dooley, you should have kept Dooley if you was going to do that. You know what? I'm not going to take this away from him. I'm not going to take this away. I'm not. So I'm going to read this. Southern University will be holding a press conference at 11 a.m. on Wednesday to formally announce the 21st head football coach of Southern University. So now, look, I'm not going to take it away from Coach Graves. What I will say is this, that came out, a press release came out, and they were asking for astronomical amounts of money. Which, if Mr. Ford comes on here, you know that he is going to talk bad about Southern, because he's going to say, stop paying these poverty wages. He's been saying it. So I'm just here to share the news. Okay. So let me share the news real quick on what was said. I didn't say it. They said it. So don't get mad at me. Please don't block me. Southern AD says some coaches that were interested in the Jaguar job wanted Power 5 salaries. Are y'all winning Power 5 games? I want to know who these coaches were that thinking they finna come in and just make $1 million. Mind you, even though Deion Sanders made $1.5 million, he bought the grants to Jackson State to then take the 40% out of those grants to pay his salary. Yes, Deion Sanders made $1.5 million, but he bought the grant, which means P&G and Walmart. Those were grants that he was able to acquire. Out of those grants, the 40% went towards his salary. Okay. See, and that's when you have too much dip on your chip, because this is my thing. As the AD, you could have went, first of all, you knew that Southern wasn't happy week 6 of the football team, or excuse me, of the football season. You should have already been doing what Deion was doing under Jackson State's noses, which is you should have been interviewing candidates and seeing what they wanted. Then you would have known that the folks that you were thinking you were going to get, you would have known that they were out of your price range, and you would have been able to tell these folks, let's wait another year because they want too much. You shouldn't have waited till the end of the season, until after you fired your coach to do this. You already knew after week 6 that they actually, after the Jackson State versus Southern game, you already know they was aiming for his head. You should have went ahead and been doing like the white folks do, which is they have lunch and they talk about it. They don't sign any paperwork. They just have a nice little casual lunch. That's what the white folks up in Colorado did. When Deion went to Colorado for a Oikos conference to speak, he had a lunch with somebody up there about this particular job, and they talked about it. The same thing, that's what y'all should have been doing, okay? So I'm going to read this real quick. It's been nearly a month. Mind you, if you see a Power 5 or even FCS teams, when they fire their coach, within 2 weeks, they hire a new coach. 2 weeks is the maximum. It's been a month to find the football program's next head coach. It says one of them, he said, was identifying candidates who understood that the pay scale at Southern is not that of an FBS program, which you already knew. Eric Dooley was fired by Southern after 2 seasons into a 4-year contract, reportedly earning $310,000 per year. See, and he didn't mind getting paid $310,000. All right, let's go to the next one. This. Mind you, early signing day is in less than 8 days. We will have a head coach announced within 7 days. How many days has it been? I seen Dr. D on here. Hey, Dr. D. What's going on over there at Grambling? Dear Grambling, what's going on over there in the hole? When they said 7 to 10 days, did they mean 7 to 10 business days? Because 7 to 10 business days is different. 7 to 10 business days means the weekends are not included. Here. So with that, I should do a poll. Should they have fired Dooley or kept Dooley? And we can talk about our hire too. Let me see what y'all said. So the pre poll was, what do you think about the new coach Jermaine Gales? 54% of you said wait and see. 26% said great hire and you're excited. 16% of y'all are not sold yet, and 2% said we need to hire another position. So my question is, what do you think about Southern and Grambling? Did they just make it easier for Prairie View and Alcorn? Or is Graves are you gonna be surprised? Is Graves gonna show us something that we didn't know that he could do? Ed Reed to Graham. Ed Reed is not going to Graham. Look at Dr. D. See, I think when Mr. Ford envisioned that folks were gonna that Southern was gonna fire their coach and Grambling was gonna fire their coach, I am for certain that he did not tell them to fire Dooley and fire Coach Hugh to, one, not have a coach in place, but for Southern especially, he was expecting for an outside hire. Next. Folks is hyped up about this. Chennis Berry was supposed to go to Southern. What happened? Mr. Carey says Prairie View and Alcorn got that stuff wrapped. Dr. D, from what I'm told, it's above their pay raise. It's above their pay scale. They can't afford him. Which, to me, I'm confused, because if you're a billionaire like you say you are, or you have all these billionaires, do you really even need the money? Why you don't just work for free? You have so many billionaires that are willing to come as per Mayorn. Why do you even need a salary? Just be like Donald Trump and don't take a salary. All right. I can't talk about everybody else's coaching staff and not talk about Jackson State. That's not unbiased. That's not good reporting. But okay, so for Southern, one thing that I will say that Coach Graves has, he has a little bit of continuity. Okay, we're not going to act like continuity isn't important. So if he wants to coach, he should coach at Grambling for free. All right. So this is something that has been aching and pulling at my heartstrings all season long, because I just saw our special teams get demolished over and over again. And then we had a lot of injuries. And by God's grace and mercy, we were able to weather through that storm and come out 7-4. He should work for $1, and the billionaire should pay the rest. While I'm talking about this fair and balanced news, I would like for you all to go to Twitter and vote. We're trying to close this gap here. Let me see what it's looking like. It's still at 43.56. Like, we need 100 people. Tell your people to tell your people. Mr. Ford. I got to wrap up the show, y'all. Mr. Ford said send the link. He said send the link. You know he about to cut up in here, and I'm about to listen. Mr. Ford says, send the link. Anyway, I was trying to say that we need a special teams coach. What kind of coach do we need? One that's going to make sure that the players are staying healthy, whether it's strength and conditioning, exercising, stretching before the game, whatever they need to do. The kickoff team, the punt team, the way that they're punting the ball. Listen, if you think that it's going to be one of those off days where the tackling is not up to par, just kick it out of bounds and take the penalty. I need those type of adjustments. I don't want you to keep kicking the ball right down the center, right to the punt returner or the kick, whoever's returning the ball. Please don't do that. Just take the penalty. Just take the penalty. Tackling. The most important thing they need to tackle for the spring season, the linebackers or whoever else is out there, the DBs, y'all have to learn your schemes for special teams. Containing the run. I think the majority of actual run yards against Jackson State, when you look at it, it was on special teams. It wasn't necessarily in the game that they were able to acquire the running yards. It was during special teams. We need to recruit some extra kickers and punters. Let's not have any mishaps like last year. Thank you so much, Mr. Ford. Let me just get through this one right here. We'll revisit, which is wide receiver coach of the Jackson State University, Jermaine Gales. Who is that munching, Doc?
I ain't not munching nothing.
Oh, that's Mr. Ford. I'm going to mute y'all real quick and just finish. All right. Give me 3 minutes. Jermaine Gales, which I'm sure you guys will talk about. But I want to say something about Mr. Jermaine Gales. He was coaching at Lincoln University in Jefferson City, Missouri. Jefferson City, Missouri is literally only 30 minutes away from my hometown, Columbia, Missouri. Let me see what else I had. I wanted to talk a little bit more about him, but I'm interested in hearing what Mr. Ford has to say and what Doc has to say about the coaching hires. I also wanted to announce that my grandfather passed away today, so I did not have all of my slides today because I found out at like 4:00 that he passed away yesterday morning in St. Louis, Missouri. And I was supposed to go to the Celebration Bowl, but I need to be headed to St. Louis, Missouri this weekend because Monday he has his funeral. Okay, and now welcome to the stage. Welcome, Mr. Ford and Doc Holliday. Unmute yourself, Doc. Oh, you muted yourself. Okay, hey, how you doing, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm just waiting on you to cut up today.
No, I'm not gonna cut up.
What you mean you're not gonna cut up?
Listen, I'm so happy for Terrence. I've been knowing Terrence for years. I remember when Terrence was a player at Winston-Salem. I'm so happy for him. I had said it before that I thought that he should be considered. He did a phenomenal job.
Never brought him up before.
Yeah, I've talked about Terrence. He comes from the Pete Richardson tree. He was trained by Pete.
Pete who? The one that used to coach for the Seahawks?
Yeah. He came there I think he came as a graduate assistant.
Who is Pete Richardson?
Oh, Pete Richardson is the man who basically dominated the SWAT back in the 90s. Point blank period.
Yeah.
Well, let me look him up.
Yeah,
wait, how is he dominating if Jackson State dominated?
I mean, but there was the only two programs at the time that was dominating, Jackson State and Southern. But the fact that Southern, he's
a former defensive back in the NFL and
yeah.
So this is where folks get the whole celebrity hires from.
But listen, he paid his dues. He started out as a high school coach at Dunbar High School in Dayton, Ohio. He coached Johnny Cole, L.C. Cole, and it was Billy Hayes who brought him from Dunbar to Winston-Salem State University, I think in the late 70s, maybe. I have to look it up. And after Billy left Winston-Salem and went to North Carolina A&T, Pete took over as the head coach at Winston-Salem. And either in 93 or 94, he was brought to Southern University by Dr. Dolores Spikes and Marina Cassim. Yeah, that's him. That's Pete, man. One of the greatest of all time, baby.
That man used to terrorize us.
Yes, sir. He was something else. He won at least 3 or 4 national championships. He used to dump. We used to have something called a Heritage Bowl. He would dominate that.
Oh, okay. So that's the Heritage Bowl that everybody be talking about.
Yeah, Pete, that was the Pete Bridson years.
Yeah, is that when they used to have cassette tapes and floppy disk?
Yes, that was the precursor to the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah.
So that was the floppy disk era that I was talking about?
Yeah, it was the 90s. The person who kind of brought, now when he first arrived in Baton Rouge, he basically took over black college football. There was no better coach, no better program than Southern University. That was about 93, 94. And the team that really took him down was about 1999. He went into Tallahassee and Billy Joe put 65 points on him. And after that, he was never the same.
Well, you know what? 65, that's a lot of points. But
Billy Joe had Quinn Gray and a guy named, what was that other guy's name? He's a big-time coach now in the Power 5. Jay Jerome Snyder. Yeah, he put 65.
65 points will hurt.
Jay Snyder, yeah, was it Jay Jerome? Jay Snyder. Yeah, that's him. Because at that time,
that 59 points be tearing FAMU up. Do you hear me? They still ain't got over it. The coach bounced back, but them snakes, they still haven't gotten over that 59-3.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm happy for. Yeah, you're right. I did want to see Pete Richardson come to the Bluff. I'm sorry. I did want to see the guy at South Carolina State, Chennis Berry. I did want to see Chennis Berry come to the Bluff, but I'm happy for the people at South Carolina State. You got a big timer. I think he's going to do great in Orangeburg. But I think that Terrence, now one thing I want Terrence to do, get rid of them Dooley people. Get rid of that staff. Okay? Go get your own staff.
You saying clear them out?
Clear them out. Get rid of Henry Miller and all that crew. Send them back to New Orleans.
You just firing everybody.
Yeah, get rid of. I want Terrence to go get his own staff. Now, if he want to keep some of them, I can see him keeping some, but don't. Them people are loyal to Dooley, not to him. I want him to go get his own staff. Go get his own staff.
And the Gucci suits.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't be wearing somebody else's underwear.
That sounds like what my granny used to say.
Yeah. Go get your own people.
That's what my granny used to say.
Now I'm waiting on Grambling. I don't know what, I've heard some names. Huh?
Grambling.
Yes, that's right. I'm waiting to see what we're going to do. I've heard some good names. I heard Ted White. I heard
Ed Reed. That's what I heard.
I hope that ain't nobody with that foolishness. Like I said, I just hope they don't start that foolishness. I'm talking about legitimate people. Now, I don't know if Ted White would. Now, is Ted White still with the Houston Texans? He was the quarterback coach out there with Pep Hamilton.
So then I guess whoever this Grambling alum is on Twitter, we should stop engaging because he act like he got the inside track. He was the one saying, "Oh, Grambling will have a head coach named by next week," and we got 54 minutes left on this poll, y'all. Get in that poll now. Y'all make sure y'all voting. Not Mr. Ford saying, I'm talking about legitimate people.
Yeah, let's go get some legitimate. I had heard Ted White, but the only thing with Ted White, I need to know, is he still with the Houston Texans?
Okay.
Remember, he was with Pep Hamilton. I think they might be gone now. Doc, can you look that up?
Hold on, let me see.
See if Ted is still with the Houston Texans. Or is he a free agent right now? Where is he?
Says White was hired as an offensive assistant and quarterbacks coach for the Houston Texans in 2022. He previously worked for the Grambling State Tigers football team as an offensive coordinator. So you want them to go back and get Ted White?
Yeah.
He would be a good candidate.
It says that he's at Howard. Or no, maybe this is old.
No,
No, he's
played
not
at
at
Howard.
Howard. He graduated from Howard. That's his school. Yeah.
No, on this website, it's on here. So it says associate head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback. To Daryl White. Maybe that's not him. Is that him? To Daryl White? Maybe that's a different Ted White.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to find out where are you at, Ted White? But didn't they? I would think that they, for the Houston Texans, didn't they hire all new people?
I think they did too. I think they did. It's D'Amico, isn't it? D'Amico Ryans is the coach.
D'Amico Ryans.
Oh yeah, it says that he's still. Well, I don't know. See, folks don't be updating their stuff, so who knows? It said that he's with the Houston Texans.
Oh no, he's not.
Is he at Howard?
He's at Maryland. He's on the Mike Locksley staff.
He's with the Terrapins.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, him and Kevin Sumlin and
I knew Sumlin was up there.
Yeah, there's some other guys.
Ted White to Graham. Look at Swacking the Fool over there. He said, don't be underestimating what you know. What you know, G?
I wouldn't underestimate Ted White either, though.
What Swacking the Fool know over there? He know that
and Ted is free. And I know Ted was friends with Doug Williams. He went to Glen Oaks High School in Baton Rouge.
Now that's the thing that they'll sit well with me.
Well, while we're over here talking, there's 176 people in the chat, and I would just like to share holiday hair. Your holiday hair will scream fabulous with iWeave's Alpha Collection. You buy 2 bundles, get 1 half off. Use checkout code iWeaveHoliday. And this sale starts today, December 12th, and runs through December 20th. If a kiss begins with K, holiday hair begins with iWeave. iWeave, do you? And back to our regular scheduled programming for Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford, you're not giving me enough smoke. I need smoke. Okay. Why are you not talking bad about Grambling, who hasn't hired a coach yet? And early
here's the thing. Here's the thing that, I think I said it on Doc's show. See, Southern, you showed Eric Dooley the door, but also you should have shown the athletic director the door. You're Grambling, you showed Hugh Jackson the door, but you should have shown the AD the door too. And so what we don't understand, we're not getting to the root of the problem. The root of the problem at Southern is Roman Banks. The root of the problem at Grambling is the Scott guy. The root of the problem at North Carolina A&T is Hilton.
Y'all gonna have these folks blocking me, and I didn't even do nothing.
See, we're not getting to the root of the problem. The root of the problem, yes, a lot of it fell on the head football coaches, but a lot of it fell on the athletic directors, and you did nothing about those athletic directors. Remember this, Dooley did not destroy Southern's program. Roman Banks destroyed Southern's football program. Okay, so here you are. You're going to let Roman Banks, you bring in this Jason Rollins. Okay, then you bring in Eric Dooley. Okay, now you're going to let him continue to destroy the program? No, show him the door. Don't give him no extension.
He already got his extension, Mr. Ford.
That's pitiful. That's pitiful.
That was before
he destroyed the pride of Southern University. He destroyed that football program. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like I said, I've been knowing Terrence for years. I followed Terrence. Terrence is a disciple of Pete Richardson. Listen, I'm a Pete Richardson fan through and through. I've watched him Even though I went to Grambling, I knew about Pete when he was at Winston-Salem. We knew the kind of coach he was at Winston-Salem. And when he came to Southern, I'm trying to tell y'all, the first 7 or 8 years, that man had a stranglehold on HBCU football.
Yeah, it says it in the press release. Coach Graves is no stranger to Southern, as he was on legendary Coach Pete Richardson's staff at Southern from 94 to 2003 and 2004 to 2010. He brings a championship pedigree, as he's won 9 championships, 5 SWAC championships, and 4 HBCU national championships. He helped guide Southern to the 1997 and 2003 HBCU national championship, 1997, 1998, 1999, and 2003 SWAC championship.
2 people I want him to go and get. I want him to go get Everett Todd, and I want him to go get Bruce Eugene. I want him to make those people a part of his program.
Is Bruce Eugene the one from Grambling that was causing a ruckus?
That's him.
Talking about.
I would like for Bruce. I wish he would bring Bruce in as probably quarterback coach and maybe offensive coordinator or something. But I know I want him as quarterback coach.
Mr. Campbell says Pete Richardson and Eddie Robinson are not walking through that door, and it's time to move on.
Move on from what?
From, I guess, feeling like you could return back to that day and age, I guess. I don't know. Can you clarify?
No, I'm just saying that the guy was trained by Pete Richardson. I ain't saying we return him back, but I do agree that I'm happy that Southern is giving him this opportunity. I'm happy about that.
So what do you think about the statement? Because you've always said about these poverty wages that Southern has been paying.
That's not just Southern. Listen, if we're going to attract top-notch coaches, we got to pay these people.
Did you see the article on HBCU Sports that said Southern AD said some coaches interested in Jaguar's job wanted Power 5 salaries?
Yeah, no, what we need to do is fire him and use his salary to attract our outstanding coaches. That's what we need. Roman Banks, you hit the door. Let's take his salary, the salary you give him, and put it towards some football coaching salaries, and basketball coaching, baseball coaching salaries.
Are we doing a fire sale on
he
ADs
needs to go.
Are we doing a fire sale on ADs?
Yeah, especially Roman Banks and that guy Grambling and the one at North Carolina A&T, Hilton. All of them need to be shown the door.
The door. The door. Okay,
That's
Mr.
right.
Campbell is still throwing folks out of their positions. Stop paying these coaches $300K plus when they get in their behinds whipped by coaches making $180,000. Ooh.
Well, that's what Southern did with Dooley. And you had a poll of Dooley shouldn't have never got that job. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was kind of happy when Dooley got the job. But after I saw him, I realized Dooley was in over his head. If you can't figure out that Bubba McDaniel was not better than what's his name, Doc?
Bashawn McCray.
That's right. If you couldn't see that in a game, I know good and well you can't coach at Southern University. With all that, let me tell you something about it. See, always remember this. Southern, Jackson, FAM, Grambling, North Carolina A&T, they have the same thirst that the University of Alabama has for winning and championships. The only difference is when you go to University of Alabama, we're talking about $180 to $190 million set aside for athletics. We don't have that kind of money for athletics, but we have the same thirst for winning. When I saw Dooley his first year, I knew he was in over his head at Southern University. Now, the red flag for me was he came from Prairie View with a 20-17 SWAC record. That's mediocre.
When Willie Simmons had that program humming,
he left him well the boys.
He gave him a goal. In a sense, the man gave him a gold mine when he left Prairie View to go to FAMU, and Dooley could not keep up with it. I don't know what the deal was. He couldn't. It's like he couldn't. like the team just it took on the team took on his personality. You know how we say a team takes on the personality of the head coach, right? It took on it to me. It seemed like it took on Dooley's personality. Dooley is not the type of person just to, he's more, I would say, mild mannered. Don't really get in
I'm gonna say it
nobody.
like this: Dude
Yeah.
is a pretty boy. Pretty boys don't win big games. Okay, I told y'all. I know some people like him wearing them pink suits on the field. That don't mean nothing. It's all about W's, and that's what Southern University want. They want W's and championship. That's what they want at Florida A&M. That's what they want at Jackson. That's what they want at Grambling. That's what they want at A&T. Yeah, you can wear them pink suits on the field all you want. That don't mean nothing. The guy was not a leader. I told y'all. Now, one thing Terrence is gonna provide. Now, Terrence is a leader. I told y'all over and over, there was no leadership from that head coaching position at Southern as long as Dooley was there. Terrence showed you leadership in that last Bayou Classic.
Uh-oh. Mr. Campbell says you over there slandering the Kappas.
Okay. All right. Well, let me tell you something. 2 Kappas should have been shown the door. One was Dooley and the other was Roman Banks.
Ooh.
They should have shown them noobs the door.
Ooh.
Look,
And what they say, diamonds in the sky.
Bennett. My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. All right. Mr. Ford, what do you think about Jackson State's wide receiver coach that's been hired?
I got to do my research on him. I think I remember. Now, was he at North Carolina Central?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I remember him. Yeah.
He coached at UAPB. It says in 2018, Giles' unit overcame a series of injuries to post the third-ranked offense in the SWAC, averaging 423.5 yards per game. 423 yards per game, and you were the third-ranked offense? I'm not trying to be funny, but in 2018, the defense on every team in the SWAC must have been trash. Because how do you get 423.5 yards per game, including a pair of 500-yard total offensive games, and you're the third ranked? Y'all, Lord.
And what school was this? Where he was at?
That was at UAPB.
That when Cedric Thomas had that team right there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember when Cedric got the team. Yeah.
3 seasons, 2010 through 2012, as associate head coach and offensive coordinator at St. Augustine's University in Raleigh, North Carolina. While service as offensive coordinator with a focus on running backs in 2010 to 11 and quarterbacks in 2012, he engineered record-breaking offensive performances. So this is at more than one different school that he's able to offensively flip the offense. The Falcons set the modern era school record by averaging 28.3 points per game in 2010. The same season, they won the Pioneer Bowl for the program's first postseason victory. In 2012, Coach Gale's offensive unit broke the same record with a scoring average of 30.5 points per game. A little bit more. Coach Gale started his coaching career at his alma mater, Southern Arkansas University, coaching the wide receivers for 3 seasons. He was a 2-year letterman as a wide receiver at Mount San Antonio College before transferring to SAU in 1996. He earned his degree in Southern Arkansas at SAU. He received his Master of Education degree in kinesiology. I know I'm saying that wrong, but
yeah, that's right. Kinesiology.
So in 2021, basically right around COVID, he was hired to be a head coach at Lincoln University
in St. Louis or Pennsylvania.
That's in Jefferson City, Missouri.
In Jefferson City, that's right. They were always known for their track program. They used to have an outstanding track program.
So his numbers weren't looking too good for that. But of course, there's a lot of things that go into that. Funding, the fact that it was COVID. So he left his head coaching job at Lincoln University. He left the head coaching job to come to Jackson State University.
But that's a step up now. You said he was at Lincoln?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a step up. You go from Lincoln to Jackson State, that's a big step up. You're going from 40 and 50,000 people in the, you're going from maybe 100 people in the stands to 40 and 50,000 people in the stands.
You better have a rude awakening.
Yeah, that's a big step up.
So we're excited about this hire, of course. We're very excited because we want to see some continuity with as far as our wide receivers staying on the team and not entering the transfer portal. So it's good to see that the wide receivers are happy with this hire. We still don't have special teams coach, Mr. Ford.
Y'all need to get work on that.
I think that's the next one that's coming up, though.
Yeah, they need to work on that.
Hurry up and come.
I think that's the next thing on his agenda is to get a special teams coach.
Can we just hire Weeks back and find the money to pay him whatever he wants?
Man, Jeff Weeks is living. He is living up in South Texas.
So he's not coaching at all?
Nah.
What? He's not. He was out of high school.
Where?
Jeff Weeks was out of high school.
Oh, well, I didn't know. I ain't hear nothing about, I ain't hear nothing about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, once he gone, you gone.
I'm pretty sure he got hired somewhere.
I mean, but my whole thing is, if he got hired somewhere, that's good for him. I had no problem. I had no issue with Coach Weeks.
So now, but why would we hire I thought Javancy was, I don't know.
Javancy
Jones, the one that graduated from Jackson State.
Yep, that man got a powerhouse.
But he's a head coach, right?
He's a head coach over at Louisville High School in Louisville, Mississippi.
Some folks keep saying we need to bring him on.
That man got a powerhouse.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, do you want to leave it? Maybe not. Oh, G said that he's a defensive coordinator at Louisville. G, why is it that you be spreading misinformation about coaching hires? You need to come up here and speak to that, because I heard that you be saying a whole bunch of stuff and you don't know what you be talking about. All right, I want to talk about basketball, Mr. Ford. What has been going on?
We've had a number of Power 5 upsets, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, y'all beat, let's see, Miss Reed beat somebody. So did, what's your men's coach name?
Mo Williams.
Mo Williams beat somebody. Southern has beat, 2 schools?
Mm-hmm.
But when I looked at the stats, do you know? Well, as of right now in SWAC basketball, on the women's side, guess who is basically tied with the same record? Bethune and Jackson State.
Bethune got a squad.
Actually, Bethune is over because they won today. Bethune in first place right now.
Bethune got a squad.
Yeah, they've had a history of good girls basketball. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but you remember Shine Wyatt? At one time, he was a girls basketball coach at Bethune-Cookman and was really successful. Huh?
Alvin?
Yeah, Alvin Wyatt. He was the girls basketball coach at Bethune-Cookman.
Sure.
And was very successful.
That man got about 80 jobs.
This is not like this year in the SWAC, it's going to be a shootout for real, especially on the women's side.
Nah, I'm real waiting on for March 7th to come.
Jackson State, of course, we've been dominating for so long that we've set this standard for our girls to just run through the SWAC. Like, and we want you to beat them by 20, 30 points. We're going to make sure that we're showing up to all of those games.
Do y'all remember Sadie McGee?
Pooh from Glen Allen. Hi, Pooh from Glen Allen.
What's going on? How you doing? What's going on?
Why you got your name like that, Brother Bakari?
Cause that was my name growing up, and I'm from Glen Allen. So I'm Pooh from Glen Allen. That's my name.
Okay. All right.
But
How
look,
you doing?
I'm great. Do anybody know if Daphne White playing against Mississippi State? And then the second thing, man, we need some shooter. We need at least one shooter off. There's no, I don't think Oregon State would have beat Jackson State if Daphne White had played. Man, we need a shooter though. We need a shooter, and that's our problem. We need a shooter, and we don't do well in the zone. We play better. We play better man defense than the zone, than when we're in a zone. But the biggest thing on offense is just if we could just get one spot up 3-point shooter to be consistent.
I don't know
the season
if Daphne is gonna play. What did they say? What was wrong? Or
no, I didn't even see her on the bench. I don't even know if she traveled. I didn't even see her. I didn't even see her on the bench. But like you was talking about, let me see. UAPB just beat Arkansas women. Arkansas was 8-2 going into that game. Jackson State have a really good chance to beat Mississippi State. I've watched Mississippi State play about 4-5 times just to watch because I knew Jackson State was playing them. I'm telling you, if Daphne White playing Jackson State has a real good chance to beat Mississippi State. I won't. Mississippi State is not like head and shoulders above Jackson State, and I really picked Jackson State to win this game. But I know Daphne missed the last game, and I don't know if she's gonna. I also picked them to beat Oregon, and she didn't. Oregon State rather, and she didn't play in that. You know, they got a lot of offer. Even though Jackson State, if you look at it, it say Jackson State out rebounded them, but they got a lot of they had a lot of offensive rebounds, and they could score, and they could score, and they could score on the inside. But I do believe they would have won, and I do believe I'm still picking them to beat Mississippi State. I'm still picking them to beat Mississippi State.
You're saying as long as they have Daphne White, I'm not.
Yes, but I'm gonna still pick them, but because I got to still ride. I can't switch. I can't switch my pickup, right? So, but anyway, I'm gonna ride with them regardless. But if Daphne White is playing, I got them beating Mississippi State. If Daphne White is playing,
I mean, we're due for another upset.
Yes, if she's playing, our size would be an advantage if she's playing. And we should be able to, if she's playing, we should be able to handle the glass. We should be able to handle the glass, no problem. But yeah, Mr. Ford, Jackson State beat they beat one of the Big East schools.
With the Missouri?
No, they beat Jackson State women beat St. John. Jackson State men beat Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then went on. Then they beat Arkansas State.
Okay.
Yeah, they beat Arkansas State.
I mean, we have two back-to-back hard games: Mississippi State and then Miami, and then University of Miami.
I'll pick them to beat Miami too. Jackson State. I'm just being honest. Jackson State. If you watch Miami, watch part of them too. Couple games just because they're on Jackson State schedule. Miami is not better than Jackson State. That's if Jackson State whole team is playing. Miami is not better than Jackson State. They are not. During this stretch, of this 5-game stretch that they're going through, they lost one game already that I picked them to win. That was to Oregon State. I picked them to lose to Kansas State and Texas. But Oregon State, Mississippi State, and Miami, all 3 of those games, in my opinion, well, we know they lost to Oregon State. So they got Mississippi State, they got Miami, and they got Texas. They should, if everyone is playing, they should go 2-1 over those last 3 games for real. They should go 2-1 over those last 3. That's if you watch Miami or
I
Mississippi
think our
State
shooter isn't our shooter the one that we got from. She's waiting on a waiver, I think.
Yeah.
The transfer
from Texas Southern.
Yeah.
That's what they think. That's what they're missing. That's really what they're missing.
Supposed to be that 3-point shooter that you bring in. So her and then Bowler when she's on, those were our 3-point shooters right there.
Yeah.
Mr. Ford, did you hear about that new rule that they had? If you win your regular conference, but then you don't win your tournament, you don't get to go.
Okay, say that again now. If
Jackson State won their regular season title, but they didn't win the
tournament,
so they don't get an automatic bid. Like you have to win your regular season and then you have to go on and win the tournament as well. So it kind of keeps they don't have the automatic qualifier anymore to keep HBCUs out of the out of it. That's the NIT.
Yeah, from the NIT, yep.
And then I just think for not even just for Jackson State, for women and men's side, is you got to hit those free throws. When they actually give you a foul and they give you a chance to make 2, you have to make those.
I'm looking forward to Jackson meeting up with Southern. That's your coach, and then the coach at Southern is a guy from Tulane, right? Is that right?
I don't know anything about.
Yeah, the men's coach at Southern University came from Tulane University, and I'm looking forward to those 2 teams meeting up. The men of Southern and the men of Jackson State, and the women of Southern and the women of Jackson. That's going because now didn't Southern put your girls out last year of the tournament?
We don't need you to remind us of that. Why would you need to remind us?
I know it, but I think that's going to be a big time. Those going to be 2 big time games.
You didn't have to remind us of that. So, Mr. Ford, did you hear about the Chris Paul HBCU tip off?
Yeah. Now, is that in Vegas or where is that?
Yeah. The HBCU challenge is in Las Vegas. I don't know why they have a tip off. So they have a tip off for D2, but it's in Uncasville, Connecticut. I would have wanted to be in Vegas too. Don't be inviting us to Connecticut. We don't want to be at the Mohegan Sun Arena. So Cheney versus Virginia Union will be on Saturday. And then Tuskegee versus Winston-Salem will be on Saturday at 8. And then I guess whoever loses, the 2 teams that lose, they'll play on Sunday. And then the championship is at 8:30. But the HBCU challenge, they made it in Las Vegas. And it's going to be Texas Southern versus North Carolina A&T. And then Jackson State versus Howard.
Oh, that's going to be good.
And
that guy's the guy that coaches at Howard played for Krzyzewski. He's doing a good job up there at Howard.
And then Texas Southern versus Howard and Jackson State versus North Carolina A&T on Sunday.
That's gonna be good.
That's gonna be this weekend.
That's gonna be good.
It looks like they have this tip-off going. They got the Celebration Bowl. Who you think's gonna win, Howard?
No, and this. Why are you saying? You know good and well this is the year of the Rattlers. You know this the year of the Rattlers?
Mr. Ford.
Huh?
They get ready to make snakeskin boots. I don't know why you keep
Nah.
saying that.
I mean, they don't get me wrong. Kudos to Howard University and because they the last somebody I thought would be in the Celebration Bowl. I actually thought it would be North Carolina Central returning, but
You
I'm gonna
said
be honest.
North Carolina Central. Who gonna beat North Carolina Central? Who
Yeah,
gonna beat North
I
Carolina
didn't.
Central?
Listen,
Then
but I want to say
Howard,
kudos.
boy.
But listen, this ain't Howard's year. This year is the year of the Rattler. This is the year of the Rattler.
Oh, Jerome Brooks said that the Legacy Classic Jackson State versus Grambling is in Newark, New Jersey on February 3rd. So they got some classics. Howard is really good, high basketball IQ. I think they'll win the tourney. Hold up now. Jackson State beat Missouri and Arkansas State. Cool your britches there. Yeah. Worms. We using FAMU as tackle bait to go fishing. Comment your Celebration Bowl predictions in the chat. I want to share them. I would like to know, what do you think that score is going to be? I really wish that I could be there, but I do have to go lay my grandfather to rest. And, Braxton was a little bit upset earlier about his grandpa, but he's resting now. Bison's by 40. Ooh, by 40. Not by 40, by 40. Mr. Campbell, 31. Jay Walker, 14. What? Go ahead and pick Howard so I can rest easy. That means we beat Howard by 20. You know what? I'm not even going to pick anybody for this go round. I'm not even going to pick anybody. I'm just going to let it roll. You see, I ain't been talking no noise about it anymore. So folks get too worked up. So I didn't even say anything these last couple of weeks. I just been letting it slide. They play a different brand of ball. Okay, we'll see what kind of ball they play. Is it any different than the SEC? 28-10 Howard over FAMU. I think that's what he's put. 28-10 Howard over FAMU. Howard 59, FAMU 3. That sounds like a good idea to me. MEAC versus ex-MEAC. I am not picking anybody for the Celebration Bowl. I'm just going to let it rock.
FAMU.
You picking FAMU to win?
Yeah.
Why?
FAMU swag. Not that I don't like other agents. Huh? Don't worry about what they do. FAMU swag.
I said, when did they become swag, Brother Picard? Are they really swag? I think
years ago.
Online. They ain't crossed over.
Okay, they knew swag, but they swag. So I show a little swag.
Neo swag. Those Neos got too much mouth. Good Lord, they talk too much. I'm like Whitley. They ain't swag.
You know what? That's why I like them, because they talk noise.
Oh, really? Yeah, they came in here puffing up their chest.
And, two of my best friends graduated from FAMU. Two of my best friends graduated from FAMU too.
I guess you got to fake it till you make it, huh? What do you think about Chennis Berry being hired at South Carolina State?
Oh, I think that was a great hire. That coach from Benedict College, I think he's gonna do a great job. I've been saying somebody was gonna pull him up, and I'm glad he's getting his opportunity to come up and coach on the D1 level. I think that's a great hire, and he's familiar with that area. I think he's gonna do an excellent job. I really do.
The only SWAC team that'll be in Atlanta this weekend is the Sonic Boom of the South.
Yep.
What do you think about
Let
our
me ask
men's
you a question.
basketball team, Brother Bakari?
I think Coach Mo Williams is doing a great job. Every time you see them play, you can see they're improving. But they've had so many. They had injuries. We know Ruffin ain't gonna play this year. But
Man,
even now, I'm not saying
if Ruffin was on that team, not okay. So they would have definitely won Georgetown. I
they
think
would
that
have
would
beat
have
Tulsa.
been.
They would have beaten Tulsa. But see, it's not just they're also missing Romeo Mansell.
He got injured.
He didn't play at the beginning of the season. I think he's only played 2 games. I think at the most 2 games. He didn't play Saturday.
Mm.
You notice all the coaches when Jackson State, even the Houston coach, was like, "Don't let Jackson State record fool you. This is a good team." Well, I'm telling you, each game you can see them getting better and better. And they wouldn't have beat Houston, but Houston got some calls to help them get that type of victory that they got. Now they're not as good as Houston. That's not what I'm trying to say. But
Right.
against Georgetown, they really swallowed that whistle, and then Georgetown got hot from behind the 3-point line. But even being hot from behind the 3-point line, they really swallowed that whistle, and that's what beat Jackson State against Georgetown.
Uh-oh. We got Bishop Detective Captain Campbell on the line.
All right, I'm gonna make this short. You have got to pick Howard.
Why?
And because listen, in the FAMU alumni groups, they have been texting me all week asking me, when are you making your pick? Because when you make your pick, we know we're going to win. This is in 4 alumni groups I've been tagged in, asking when you're making your pick. So for the FAMU faithful, we depend on you to pick against us, because that's just easy money. So you need to go ahead and go on Twitter, cause utter chaos.
Yes, and say that FAMU's gonna win.
No. We don't want none of that. We don't want none of that.
Okay.
We want exactly what you've been doing. I want you to say Howard by 40. I want you to say Howard by 40. Gummy World. I want you to do all that. Matter of fact, make a little video, APR video, all that. We need all that. All that. You know what I'm saying? Put Ashton in there and all that. Put Howard by 40. Because if you do that, I already know I can pop champagne tonight. That's what we want. So I just wanted to let you.
In 4 different groups, they are waiting on me to pick.
Oh, listen. I got a text message at 2 a.m. about you that I should just show, but I know you're not gonna keep it a secret. That somebody said, "When is your niece posting?" And stop talking because we're scared what she gonna say. At 2 a.m. You got these FAMU folks just loving you. I don't know why. I have no clue. Because you don't like FAMU people at all.
That is not true.
No.
We're against you guys. I was just picking against you the whole season.
Well, you need to keep it up. So go ahead and make your pick. And I tell you what, make your pick, and I'll even send you double bundles.
Ooh, boy, I'm sold on that. He said, well, that pick about to be done. He said double bundles.
Listen.
And as you all know, the double bundles that he's talking about is that holiday hair.
Listen. There you go.
Alpha collection. They're waiting on me to pick, so I need to drop my video. We got a commitment video. We got goodness. I hope everybody's ready. We have commitment videos dropping all this week. I'm gonna put a D2 in there, a D1 FCS school, and a Power 5 school. I got 3 offers. I'm gonna be putting all 3 of them in the same bit. Hey, Mr. Ford.
Hey.
Mr.
Hey,
Ford.
let me say this. Look, I'm about to get off, right? Thank you for letting me speak. Good talking to you, Mr. Ford, the chat, Mr. Campbell. Hey, but let me say this, right?
Always.
Let me ask, did that guy really lie and make up an offer from Colorado? What the hell? Like,
oh
Well, I know he did because I literally just read the article. For 2 years in a row. I wish he could go. I wish he could go. Just go. Let's go enroll in the school. Maybe, go see
Listen,
you the
I'm
water
ignorant
boy.
on that. Who is that, Brother Bakar? Who was that?
The offensive lineman from Jackson State. I don't think he ever got in the game at Jackson State.
What's
Dude
his
named
name?
Amari Ward.
So I'll just tell you the story, Mr. Ford.
Uh-huh.
So there's a young man who put out on his Facebook about why he left Jackson State.
Right.
And he said the reasons why he left was because of the football coaches didn't care about him because he witnessed or he saw the aftermath of that young man who was murdered by his roommate. They were all on the football team and he was in that same suite.
Right.
And unfortunately, he decided to put that out on Front Street about everything that happened. Literally everything. I hope he's not suicidal. Lord have mercy. So I asked him to take it down because some of the stuff that he was putting in there weren't 100% factual. So I asked him to take it down, and then I wasn't attacking him, more so as I was just like setting the record straight. Like, number one, the coaches that you're trying to go to in Colorado are the ones that you claim don't care about you. Number two, Jackson State has therapy services, but the young man was killed in December. The SWAC championship happened, and then we went to the Celebration Bowl. The semester's over. So he never got the therapy services. But during that tenure, during that time that he's talking about, that little 2 to 3 week time period, Coach Deion Sanders was still the head coach.
Right.
He never went and got services. He stayed enrolled in the spring and he failed out in the spring.
Okay.
And Miss Sullivan, they did catch the killer. The killer was one of the football recruits. And he was arrested immediately, the same day.
Ooh.
So then on his birthday, which I don't even know if he still has it up, but I just told him, I said, look, please don't let that man use you like that. Like, please don't do that, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to get embarrassed, because he's basically using you for a storyline or to drum something up, and it's just not going to go the way you think it is. So what he did on his birthday, he decided to say that he's committed to Colorado. Happy birthday to him. It almost did he almost got 500,000 views off of that alone.
What was his number at Jackson State?
He didn't necessarily have a number because he was a redshirt. Like, he might have been on maybe the scout team or practicing, but he never actually played. So
Mr. Ford, his number was nothing because the boy never played. He had a jersey.
Wait, what?
I said his number was nothing. That boy didn't even have a jersey, did he?
I don't want to say that he didn't have a jersey. I don't want to say that.
Well, yeah, you can't say it. I'm making the joke. I made the joke.
On the scout team. I have to tread lightly because, Mr. Campbell, when I tell you I had folks from the HBCU crucifying me, I'm talking about they was like, you are bullying a student. Don't bully it.
You're right. So yes, you have, and I'm proud of you being very professional. I, on the other hand, don't have to worry about this. I'm gonna cut the joke because that is pure silliness.
I feel like, so for me, I feel like I'm still treading lightly because the fact that Zimmer, who was an analyst at Jackson State, the fact that he outed him like that, like, you want to laugh and say that it's funny, but it actually is not funny at all. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, he got problems. No, he has problems, but
So
again,
that's
I
why
just
it's kind of
yeah.
like I'm kind of like I want to. Of course, you want to laugh and make a joke, but obviously after that came out, it's kind of like, okay, no, this person might not be this. There might be something going on. And Zimmer, he actually, which it's still on here, so I'm gonna pull it up. He deleted it, but it's still on here, so I should screenshot it. And I can't believe he did that, which, you know, as a coach, you could have just told him to take it down in the inbox. Like, please take that down. This is probably
Colorado wrote a whole article about it. They wrote a whole article about it. Like nobody reached out to him. They did a whole article.
They don't know what Coach Prime did. You don't know if he'd been talking to Coach Prime and Coach Prime was saying, yeah, you know, we'll make sure we got a spot for you. We'll take care of you. If somebody's telling you that and it's Coach Prime, what are you going to think that means? We'll find you a place to, we'll find something for you. What does that mean to you?
Well, if that's who told him that, well, when they did the article, they claimed.
What I'm saying is
I
that
understand
young
what you're
man is
saying.
not somebody put a battery in his back and they were from Colorado. He's not going to just randomly go and say all this stuff about Jackson State just out the blue for no reason at all with the expectation that he's going to Colorado. Somebody put that battery in his back. And he didn't just out the blue put that there. Now, did somebody offer him? No. But if somebody is telling you, we'll find a spot for you, or we'll find you something to do, or we got you, he had a traumatic experience. And once again, when I said what I said, I'm not trying to take away from that young man's trauma. But what I am going to do is going to set the fact straight, which is he told me on his own that he was taking online classes because he reached out to me after DeAndrea made those comments about the murder. And he was just like, she's capping about murders happening, but I was there when such and such. And he just started talking about it. And I was like, so like, did they move you from campus? And then by then it was January 22nd. You should have already been to school. He's like, oh, I'm taking online classes. I've been online. So if you're taking online courses and it's the spring and you're taking online only, and this is in January that you told me this, how do you switch over to I had in-person classes and they didn't help me? And so for Zimmer to come out and do that it's not right. Somebody put the battery behind Zimmer's back to even come and tweet that out. Like, I don't know. I don't want him to harm himself because he thought he was going to Colorado. That's my only thing. Obviously there's something wrong and he needed guidance and he needs therapy, and football is not the answer. But to see that happen, and Jackson State, we don't have to do anything because this is the Buffs coach doing it. And so now everybody's talking all that stuff they were talking about Jackson State, and all we was saying was you need to delete that and keep Jackson State out your mouth. Now you got a million folks that are talking about you and making fun of you, and they don't care nothing about what happened because these people actually don't know what happened. Like that particular post, it didn't get very far. So these folks, these Colorado folks that are making fun of him, they don't know nothing about that murder that happened. It says Zimmer took down all the replies. Zimmer deleted the post, but screenshots don't lie, baby. That tweet is in the cloud. Boy. So that's what happened there, Brother Bakari. And he is getting embarrassed. I'm talking about
that's
embarrassed. They are.
Feel sorry for the young man. Kinda.
I mean, but he did kind of lie on. The only reason why it's kind of like I'm thinking that it was more so like misguided, very much so misguided, and somebody put a battery in his back. That's what I think. But when I spoke up about it, I was met with, "You need to leave that kid alone. You're bullying him." And these was HBCU folks. I guarantee you those HBCU folks aren't telling Colorado to leave him alone and stop bullying him.
Of course not.
These Jackson State folks, they need to stop. They needed this, that, and the third. I guarantee you those same HBCU folks are not telling Colorado to leave him alone and don't heckle him, and that's not nice. Leave Amari alone. We ain't gonna hear that.
Hey, Timon, I got a serious question. If you don't mind me asking, what did they consider that you were doing that was bullying?
Me exposing his messages that he sent me that said that he was online only.
Oh.
So basically he said that he had classes in person and that's why he failed out of school, because Jackson State didn't help him. The professors weren't helping him. They weren't helping him with his studies. To which my response was, you never returned back to campus. You did not seek out the therapy that you needed, from which a lot of people, you have to seek out the therapy. So.
No, wait a minute. Is this Amari Ward or is this Tyler Brown?
Amari Ward. I mean, it's a replay of, basically he was trying to do a replay of Tyler Brown.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. Okay. I was like, I've heard this story before.
How it sounds similar? You see how it's a similar, same storyline?
Right.
Jackson State doesn't have the services. They don't have what I need to succeed. And it's like, what? So basically he was saying they didn't provide him any services for therapy, but he didn't even come back to campus in the spring to get the services. The shooting happened right around SWAC championship. He suited up for SWAC championship, so he was there for the SWAC championship. He suited up for it. He took his picture when they won the championship. I mean, and then he went home. Because we went to the Celebration Bowl, he went home. And then I just pointed out some of the times where, like in April, he posted, "Why not JSU? Come to JSU. JSU is where it's at." And this was well after the shooting. So they said that I was bullying him because I was exposing the timeline and what he was saying versus what's happening, because I knew that it was basically, I'm exposing Jackson State because I'm getting ready to go to Colorado. And he got embarrassed by Colorado. The same coaches that didn't care about his mental well-being in Jackson. It says Jackson State has 2 mental health services on campus, Latasha Norman Center and a service in the psychology department. And as an adult, I told Amari, people are saying as an adult, I can handle it differently. I think that Amari would have probably, if he would have listened, he probably would have appreciated the way it was handled on Facebook rather than the way it's been handled on Twitter. I went in his inbox and I just let him know, like, this is not. Basically, I was letting him know that it's kind of like they're using you for a storyline, or it's not. How I handled it, which I addressed with the sister and stuff like that, the way I handled it is peanuts compared to the flack that he's getting right now.
Well, let me ask this question. Have FAMU and Howard, have they arrived in Atlanta?
Mr.
Does anybody know?
No, we get there tomorrow.
Oh, they get there.
Are y'all taking the bus? Y'all taking the bus?
Nope, flying.
They flying in. Now, when the Coca-Cola used to
Snake's
have that big banquet
said
for them, is it tomorrow or is it Thursday?
Thursday.
Snake's on a plane.
Yeah, Thursday. Yeah.
Well, I got
You
some
know,
news.
last year that girl Elle Duncan hosted it. I think it was Elle Duncan, the girl from ESPN.
ESPN.
Yeah.
I want to play that.
Peace, y'all. I'll let y'all later. Thanks for letting me speak.
All right, bro.
All right, Mr. Folk.
Okay,
Cam,
y'all have a good one.
So where's that? Where's the video of Jay Walker saying that that Howard's gonna win?
It's on YouTube. I saw it today while I was at school.
Did you see it? What did you think about it?
He was being Jay Walker. He actually the guy from Grambling, HBCU Sports. What's his name?
Ken Richard.
Yeah, Ken Richard, and it was the guy. One guy's a graduate of Jackson. He's like under Ken, and they had Tiffany, they had Jay, and they talked. I listened to some of it while I was at school. And he tried to say that Howard is America's black college or something, and nobody. He said, if you believe that Howard is America's black university, raise your hand, and nobody raised their hand. And so they asked Tiffany, how did she feel? She said she listened to that every week. She know that ain't nothing new. But it was a good interview. It was a good interview.
Mr. Campbell, you was laughing a little bit too hard up that joke.
Listen, hey, Howard. Listen, if you know people from Howard, you know that's the way they move. You know that's Howard people. Howard people are. I'm gonna tell you something. There's only one group of people that's worse than Howard people, and that's Morehouse men. That's the only group. Now, if you run people from Morehouse, like I am constantly,
and then directly after Morehouse men is what?
FAMU 100%. FAMU 100%. Absolutely true.
Okay, good.
Absolutely true. We own ours. We ain't got no problem with that. We own ours.
Well, in the past, after FAMU, it was Tennessee State until they destroyed their program. Because them people from Tennessee State had some big heads too now. They just destroyed their program.
So so you said it's Howard Morehouse men is first.
I would say Morehouse. Because it's Howard men and women. Morehouse is just the guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then FAMU men and women.
100%.
And then who's next?
Southern.
I just love
Southern University.
I'm loving this list.
Yeah, Southern. Listen, man. Listen. Southern think they better than everybody.
Yeah, but is that really arrogance or is that delusion? Because you have to have you have to have something to back that up to have that arrogance. Southern don't have nothing to back that up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else on that list has pedigree to say that. Southern does not have the pedigree to say that.
But Mr. Campbell, when I was in school, Southern had 3 campuses. They were the largest HBCU in America. That was back in the 70s and the 80s. And they thought they were the best school. Listen, Southern. Listen now. I'm telling y'all now. Y'all putting that list together. Don't forget Southern University now. Southern used to look down on Grambling. They look down on everybody. They always
they look down on Grambling. But that's a Louisiana thing. But I'm from Jackson. There was nobody that went to Jackson State that got educated at Jackson State was like, oh boy, that's Southern education. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody from Jackson ever said that. I'm just telling you. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. Ain't nobody from Jackson State ever said, boy, you go down to Southern, boy, you really gonna get you a job tomorrow. Nah, yep.
But they have to listen. They got them engineers and them lawyers going on down there at Southern now.
Yeah. Okay.
They now for a while. They was your arch rival.
Yeah. Well, in sports. In sports, there's a difference. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna stop throwing shade at Southern.
Okay, so who's after Southern? Alcorn?
No, Jackson.
I can almost co-sign that. But then you got Hampton and Tuskegee.
Oh, don't forget Hampton.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
don't forget. Listen, don't forget Hampton. Don't forget Hampton.
the real HU.
HU. That's right. Don't forget Hampton. Or don't forget them. Yeah, have you been to that campus?
No.
Oh, you got to
Beautiful.
go.
It's
Yes,
beautiful.
it is. But
It
the
is beautiful.
attitude is something else.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
snooty?
my sister went to Hampton. Oh, this different. Especially when Dr. Harvey was there. He's been retired now, maybe a couple of years. But that Hampton experience is something else too. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's between Hampton and Howard, give me Howard.
Okay, if it's between Howard and FAMU this weekend, who we going for, Mr.
Oh, FAMU, it's the year of the Rattler. It's the year of the Rattler.
I can't catch you slipping. Mr. Ford, Mr. Campbell said that they're waiting on my announcement. They're waiting to see who I pick.
Well, you know who I got. I got FAMU. I got FAMU.
FAMU's warming up to me, Mr. Campbell.
Yeah, I got FAMU.
No, because you sneak in, and let me, I can't, but I won't say this. Prayers to you, your grandfather, think that you said, and everything. We would love to have you down to the Celebration Bowl, but like I say, prayers from all the Rattlers, because that you are play cousin. We do love you, and like I say, prayers to you.
I got my credentials and everything for the Battle of the Bands for Friday.
Totally understand. Family first. Family is always first.
Absolutely. Gotta go lay my grandfather to rest. Dr. D said we're not gonna take this HU bad talk. He said Howard.
Which one? Hampton or Howard?
I think he was talking about Howard. Not Hampton. I don't think he was talking
Hampton. Don't even, boy, please.
I don't think he was talking about
Dr.
Hampton.
William Harvey. They called him Slick Harvey. He was Talladega. He graduated from the same school as Deion Sanders.
Oh, Talladega?
Yeah. That's what Dr. Harvey was. Yeah. Yeah. He was president of Hampton for about 40 years?
Dr. D, this is who is the most annoying, right? Isn't this who is the most annoying and uppity?
Right. That's right. Annoying and bougie. Listen, you go to Hampton's homecoming, it's 90 degrees, and the women got on fur coats because they want you to know they got fur. That's what they do at Hampton.
Okay, so what do you think about Friday night? It's North Carolina A&T versus the Sonic Boom of the South. Who you got, Mr. Ford?
Well, I'm happy for A&T because they ain't gonna win no more football games, so they ban all the people.
Either it seemed like
I know they ain't gonna win nothing in football. The football program been destroyed.
Basketball, they winless too. It's just
the basketball, the men or the women, or both.
I want to say the men's side. I think they played Central today.
Oh, they played Central today?
Yep.
Who won that?
They got. Oh Lord, they're going through it. Tell them that they need to go back to an HBCU conference. CIAA.
Everybody knows that.
Any HBCU conference available. They are 0-9 on the season in basketball.
That's men and women, or just the men?
This looks like the men's side. They lost today 67-62, North Carolina Central. And they were in Greensboro tonight.
That guy's good at Central. That guy's name is Moulton. What is it? LeVar? It's some kind of Moulton. That guy's really good. Dr.
D said that Dr. Harvey was his mentor. So maybe that's maybe that's why.
Listen, if he was your mentor, you're supposed to be president of a black college. Because all of his people are presidents of black colleges.
So what was Dr. D doing that he's not a president of a college?
That's right. If he was, listen, because William Harvey was like the godfather. Him and the guy at Florida A&M that's deceased now, Dr. Humphreys. Them guys were like LaVale. Thank you, Jay Official. That's right, LaVale Moulton. That guy's really good, man.
Hey, Simona.
Yes.
Let's do something. I'll tell you what. How much are the tickets to the band competition? for the boom. How much the ticket? So why don't we do a 2-ticket giveaway?
Ooh, Sonic Boom of the South.
Yeah, but I ain't buying no $500 tickets now. Just some of them just to get you in the building. And we ain't doing no 5 because it's just too late in the game. So I will do a 2-ticket. So good Jack State folks can go if they're going to be in Atlanta to support the boom and support you. But they gotta be like following your Twitter and Instagram and all that. You know, some kind of contest. Are you coming back? Are you coming back on anytime before you leave?
I wanted to do a live on Thursday.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't you? So this is what we're gonna do, guys. We're doing a SheLovesThee, I Weave, Love the Boom 2-band ticket giveaway for Atlanta, courtesy of I Weave. But she's gonna figure out what the rule is before she get off this live, and then she's gonna announce it, I guess, on Thursday. How much is the tickets? $30?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm buying 2 $30 tickets on the J. I'm gonna put it on the JSU side, of course. So there you go. So that's my support for the Sonic Boom of the South.
Y'all heard it.
Yeah, that's right. So we're gonna support it, like I say, because I don't even know. I have no idea why North Carolina A&T's band is there, but hey, good for them. Good for them. But the Boom is gonna destroy them. So the Boom's they're gonna destroy them. The Boom, like I say, they start in A, they will finish in A. So good for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Sonic Boom said, "Can I get someone to go 3 tickets?" Hey, Sonic Boom, I tell you what, if you buy some hair, I'll get you 3 tickets. There you go. If you buy some I Weave hair for any of your friends, girlfriends, mother, cousins, I will get you 3 tickets.
Oh my goodness.
So there you go. So we got the Sonic Boom 98 sponsorship package. Anybody that buys any hair between now and Thursday will get 3 tickets from me. How about that? There you go.
And let me put that up there so y'all can see it. The Holiday Hair Alpha Collection.
Yeah. And then we're giving 2 away. But she got to figure out what the contest is. So you got to let the people know what the contest is.
Mr. Campbell, when's the last time you talked to Rudy Hubbard?
Listen, he was on with the ONG strike. That's the last I heard. I have not seen Coach Hubbard. So I was down at FAMU. So that's been 30 years ago.
Right. Okay.
So do you think it should be some type of competition? Maybe I should do like the announcement for who I'm choosing between FAMU versus Howard. And we need to do like a special live for that. What do you think?
It's whatever you want to do. I'm just going to make sure the tickets are purchased, and whatever you want to do. I'm just here to support it and support Jackson State because everybody knows I love Jackson State, of course.
Absolutely.
Oh, he didn't kiss the ring.
What ring?
I guess he's talking about Dr. Harvey.
You have to kiss the ring in order to
yeah, I told you, Dr. Harvey was the godfather for many years. The only somebody that could stand up to Dr. Harvey was Dr. Humphreys. He was the only one.
Are these bougie?
And if he said that you were a person that should be head of a black college, they would make you that president. A lot of his disciples became presidents of different black colleges.
Well, I don't know why he didn't kiss the ring. He would have been a president by now.
Yeah, he would have been a president by now. Definitely. Dr. Harvey was real good friends with the Bushes. He was a multimillionaire. He had his own either Pepsi Cola distributorship or something. He was something else.
The Golden Delight are amazing. Why are you laughing at that, Mr. Campbell?
They are. That's the girls from A&T.
That's the girls from A&T.
Yeah, they are.
Behind it.
I'm just saying they're amazing.
Yeah, they are.
They're amazing.
Are they better than the J-sets?
No. Listen, let me tell you something. Now here's a J-set. So this is for the old heads. The J-sets used to have what they called a body cut. They used to be in the old gym, actually where the Walter Payton Center was at. They used to be the old gym, and everybody and their mama would be in Jackson. And I don't remember who's the lady. She used to be the head of the J-sets, right? Mm-hmm. And she said, I will never forget this. We all in there, and she said, if that person can't see you from up there from the press box, you can't be no J-set.
Right.
That was their thing. If they can't see you from the press box, baby, you can't be no J-set.
Miss Worthy?
Yeah. That when that woman said that, because it was like a little bit of skinny girl, you know what I'm saying? That came out to be a J set, and she said, Stop." She said, "Baby, if they can't see you from the press box, you can't be no J set." And we all
What
died.
year did they start the J sets? Was it in the 70s or 60s?
It was because it was the 50-year anniversary, then wasn't it?
They must have
Like,
changed. They must have changed their
So it's the
requirements
70s
over time, because in 2005, 2006, you had to be slender with. I mean, you had to have a little shape, like a little hip and butt. But for real, you had to be skinny.
Yeah. That was What's her name? Stop said Mrs. Mrs. Otis. That was her. And again, you gotta understand something. It was a different time and a different era and stuff like that. And honestly, the girls now are professional dancers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These girls, these girls are really and again, I follow a lot of them. They're on tour and things like that. So it was just a different time then. It was more like extracurricular back then. You know what I mean? Now these girls, this is like a profession for these young ladies and stuff. So yeah, so there you go.
So Mr. Campbell, the oldest J sets now would be 70 years old. What would be the oldest J set? Would she be 70 or would she be 68, 69? She'd be in her 70s.
Well, Unstoppable said it started in 71, which is right, because they had their 50th when Prime, whenever that was their home. I remember they had a big nice thing. So if you're 18 in, right? So what is that? 50 years ago? Yeah. So you'll be 60, almost 70.
70, you're right. So the first, So the original J sets now would be in their 70s.
Well, yeah, early 70s.
Early 70s, yeah.
Yeah, between
Mr.
68
Walker
and 70.
said that his mama was a J set in 1975.
So that means she was a J set when Walter Payton was there.
Correct.
Doom Brazil and them, Vernon Perry.
Dr. D, what's up?
What's going on? I hear all this talking about stuff, so I had to come in. First of all, Dr. Harvey, I would say, is probably the best college president in the past 50 years, and how he grew a campus. President Obama made him the chairman of the White House Initiative for HBCUs back in 2009, when Obama got in office. So I used to work with him a lot on bringing some resources to HBCUs back then. So he was a businessman, and let me tell you, when he rolled up, he said, "Dana, you're gonna have lunch with me on the yacht." I said, "What?" Man had a yacht. The university had a yacht. Then he rolled up and said, "Look, I got Burger Kings, Pepsi, distributions."
Right.
Let me tell you, let me tell you a story. So I was walking on campus with him, and he said, "Hey, I got this money from the feds to buy a building." And he said, "Look, I got $800 million, and I'm about to put a proton cancer research center, like first of its kind." So let me tell you, he knew how to get that money for the school. And so, I learned a lot from him. So he was a good president. So now getting back to this HU is number one in everything. So whatever list you all got up there today, just put HU as number one. It doesn't matter. We take the good with the bad.
So when you say HU, we talking Hampton or Howard?
Mr. Ford, so you'll understand. I'm a graduate of Howard University.
Okay.
And I used to work at Howard University as an administrator.
So which one's number one?
Howard University, because it was Hampton College first, or Hampton Institute.
Hampton Institute.
It was Hampton Institute,
right?
And then they switched to university.
Yeah.
The real HU is whoever was the original 1867.
That's Howard University.
I heard that Hampton was the real HU.
How can you be real if you had you initially HI and then you changed to HU? Come on, let's stop.
And Hampton birthed Tuskegee, right? Didn't Tuskegee come out of Hampton?
I don't know. Because
remember, the people in Macon County sent a letter to Samuel Armstrong asking for a teacher, and he sent them Booker T. Washington.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes.
Yeah.
So I just want to get the record straight. The real HU is Howard University. Period.
Yeah. Jay Walker called Hampton today, Hampton Institute.
Well, that's because when Jay was one of my like when I worked at Howard, I was in the student affairs, so I was in charge of the cheerleaders and student government at the time. So I used to do a lot of work with the football team, and so Jay, during that time, that was when it was Hampton Institute. So he's correct.
Did you know Dr. Ollie Bowman?
Mm-mm.
Okay, he was at Hampton.
Dr. D.
Yes.
Tell Mr. Ford why you think Ed Reed should be hired at Grambling.
Why you gonna start this tonight? Okay, let me give a precursor to my discussions. Okay, Urban Edge Network, right, actually helped bring funds to many of the HBCUs. Okay, with Hugh Jackson, Grambling got $3 million, but with an Ed Reed, they can probably get $10 million to the school. He's just a bigger celebrity, more profile. It's just a bigger. Now, if Urban Edge had Dion at a Grambling, we're talking $20-30 million. It's just the brand. That's the bottom line. So that's why I said that you need an Ed Reed to help with Gramblings with their financial situation. That's all. Mr. Ford, quiet?
Yeah, I'm quiet on that one. Yeah.
And let me say this. There's talk about how come PWIs don't pay as much, pay less than HBCUs. That's because they got the resources. So if you got resources, the facilities, then you don't need to pay your head coach as much. But when you don't have the resources and bad facilities, you got to increase the coaching salary. They work hand in hand. It's a balancing effect.
Well, let me ask you, do you think that Hampton has the best athletic facilities?
I was on that campus 3 times last year. It's very nice, but it's good. It's okay, but it can be better. It's just small because they don't have the space to grow, to move. Because right outside of Hampton, you had a highway, so, right. But they have it's fine, Howard's facility is trash, it's been,
Greenfield.
Yeah, Greenfield.
Do you think it was a good idea for Hampton and North Carolina A&T to join the CAA?
Well, it depends on what your intentions were. If you were trying to get the money from visiting other football programs, then the answer is yes. If you're trying to build a program to build your powerhouse, the answer is no. Those schools did that for the money. And now they probably realizing, man, you took the money over your fan base. And that's really what they did.
Do you think that A&T will ever get that football program? Because their program to me is destroyed.
And it's not. I was talking to a student at A&T yesterday, and I wanted him to try out for the football team. He said, "Why? Why should I subject myself to that? He can play."
Well, I agree with him on that.
Yeah, because A&T is set back for about 3 years now.
Right, maybe more.
Yeah,
because this guy's gonna get fired. The guy that Blue likes, they called him the Undertaker. He played for Bill Parcells. He's the head football coach at A&T. He's not gonna last. Vincent Brown. He's not gonna last.
The one from Valley?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not gonna last. He's gonna be 2 years and a half.
They was really trying to fire him after this year.
That's what I'm saying.
But they hired him late. Oh my gosh, they hired him so late. They hired him like what? if you're
That's why you fire your. That's why you fire your. If you're gonna fire a coach, you fire him mid-season, so you can get a jump on the best coaches, so you can hit the ground running when it's time for recruitment season. If you
Well,
wait
let
too
me
late,
ask you this:
it's
do
crazy.
you think that Texas Southern could be a football power?
No,
Is it because they're basketball, or is it because they're in Houston, Texas?
two things. It's the AD, and they
Right,
like basketball more than football.
right. That's what I always
I,
felt.
I've been on
About
that
Texas
campus.
Southern.
I've been on that campus too. So I'm telling you, it's just the AD is focused on basketball.
mm, 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 mm.
Like
Right.
at FAM focuses on all the sports.
You was lying to me
Wait a
because
minute.
their
Wait.
Very much so,
basketball
Oh.
like,
is
yeah, I gotta jump
Let me
in there.
disagree with you. Now
No, they do. They focus.
they used to focus on our sport, but lately everything. Well, the baseball team has come up, but
Yeah,
at one time, FAM was all football.
yeah, it was. I'm talking about now. I'm talking about the push now. Is they focusing on all the sports now? Now they can't. I don't know why they hired this current women's basketball coach because I thought the UAPB
Oh
coach
yeah,
would have been a
definitely.
better
Yeah,
fit.
Don't be
Yeah.
trying to take. You talking about
Hey.
Don Thornton, Jackson State alumna?
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. She just beat somebody, right? Didn't she just beat
Yeah.
Big
She
South?
just beat
Arkansas.
Arkansas. She
He
just beat
just
Yeah.
Arkansas.
oh,
Yeah. 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 And you know, Jackson State is all sports too. I see that Willie put up that 169 championships. You know, certain schools they look at all the sports. Some schools like, hey, let's just concentrate on football or basketball, and that's it. So,
Well, Dr. Humphreys made it known he didn't care.
oh, what happened to Mr. Ford? Oh,
hey Jerome,
Hey, happy Tuesday. How y'all doing?
good, good, good.
I
Yeah,
see
I had
y'all
to
later.
jump.
Hey,
I had to
Steve,
jump.
I'll see you on Friday, bro.
You got it.
Jerome, were you
Yeah,
getting ready to give us some historical reference to the day sets or?
nah. I mean, honestly, you know, I came in on the Hampton conversation,
Oh, okay.
and you know, wanted to kind of co-sign on what Mr. Ford was saying, uh, and then you guys kind of pivoted to A&T. Look, I'm gonna tell you, A&T, they're like one good hire. They remind me of Jackson State, even though they don't have the football tradition that we do. They're just one good hire away from being special, like they did with Broadway. Like they've got the brand, they got a decent fan base, a decent band. They travel well. I just think maybe the AD was going in a different direction to try to bring more. I don't know what he was thinking, uh, but just from talking to a lot of their alums here in Charlotte, they're still like really pissed off. You know that they're no longer in the MEAC and they want to go back. So it'll be interesting once they get a new president next year. It'll be interesting to see the direction of the that president wants to go. But hey, I'm excited about the boom in Atlanta this weekend. The only SWAC team that's going to be in the ATL. Look, we're going to represent for the conference. We're going to hold it down. And just looking at
the only SWAC team.
Listen, I respect Jerome because I know he loved. But listen, all I know is now, Jerome. Now, are you from Jack? You're not from Jack. You just went to Jack State, right?
Yeah, I'm from Fort Bragg, Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Well, my family's from Fayetteville, so cool. McNeil's. Okay. So you good people. So here's the thing.
Yeah, I know some McNeil's.
Bro, they all related to me. That's one of them. They just like the Brelands, but they all related to me.
I know the Brelands too. Did they all go to E. Smith?
No. The Brelands is Jackson State folks. Those are Jackson State folks. Okay. But I want to tell you, a person from Jackson, the commissioner,
oh gosh,
said that it was Christmas in July when FAMU joined the SWAC. A man from Jackson handed us the SWAC trophy. So who is SWAC will be the team Florida A&M playing to bring the Celebration Bowl trophy back to the SWAC. So that's what that is. So there's no MEAC here. It's only the SWAC.
When FAMU and Bethune joined the SWAC, it became a super conference. It stretched from Houston, Texas, all the way to Daytona Beach, Florida. That's a super conference.
I'm gonna let you throw Bethune in there just because we brought them along for the ride.
And I'm gonna tell you something.
The super conference was when it was the super conference was made because it's FAMU, Jackson State, Southern, and Grambling. That made it a super conference. Bethune couldn't have nothing to do with that.
Let me tell you something. Y'all better hope Bethune don't get some good offensive and defensive linemen in this next recruiting class. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Bethune gonna come back quicker than y'all think. I'm telling you now.
Bethune need to get helmets first before they be worrying about winning anything. I need them to get enough helmets for all the players.
That's a cheap shot.
Oh,
that's a cheap shot.
I don't know why these Rattlers act like Bethune didn't used to drag them from here.
Yeah, they did. Listen. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Remember Brian Jenkins?
No, listen. Hold on. Wait a minute. So Jerome is a historian, so he's going to understand what I'm saying. There comes a point in time. You remember Southern beat y'all 8-9 times, right? But that ain't the natural order. That ain't the natural order of the universe. So people like Southern and Bethune, every dog has his day. They had a run, but then when order's restored, you see, FAMU whoops up on Bethune, Jackson State whoops on Southern. The world's a better place. It's just facts. And because I'm telling you right now, because Southern, the coach that they hired, and that may be Mr. Ford's guy, I'm telling you right now, and I'll make a bet with anybody, that Southern will not beat Jackson State nor FAMU the next 5 years. That's 10 losses right there.
Yeah, honestly, man, I think Southern is going through what we went through, almost like a comedy curse. You know, sometimes this is what happens, man, when you get rid of a winning coach because your fan base and the school sometimes has unrealistic expectations. I'll say this: a winning Southern, winning Jackson State, it's definitely good for Black college football.
They blue bloods.
Yeah,
they're blue bloods.
So we definitely need a pretty decent or a solid Southern team for HBCU football.
Yes, we do.
You know, they got the brand, the fan base, all that good stuff. But yeah, y'all not swag.
Listen, we need 2 perennial powers in the West. We need 2 perennial power teams in the West. Yeah, everything now is in the East.
Yeah, because I mean, I can't even see that coming out of Texas Southern. You know, like you said, they're a basketball school. Their mindset and culture is not on football. It'll probably either be Prairie View, Grambling, or UAPB, possibly. Because in my opinion, UAPB has had some pretty solid seasons the last 10 years. We played them in 2012 in the SWAC title game in Birmingham. But Southern is just like, for whatever reason, they can't get over the hump, no pun intended. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't expect, even though we do need a good, solid Southern team, honestly, I'm with Mr. Ford and the brother from FAMU. I don't expect them to be winning for a while.
They're not. Yeah.
Listen, but remember this. Southern is one position away from getting it straight. They got to get rid of Roman Banks. They got to get an AD in there with a vision. This man has destroyed Roman Banks, destroyed Southern's football program. If they're going to get to the core or to the root of the problem, Roman Banks got to be shown the door.
And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Ford, just from the outside looking there, it seems like Roman Banks is doing what kind of happened a couple of years back at Jackson State and some other HBCUs. I think he was trying to get in good with the alumni. And as we know, a lot of their alumni, sadly, whether they want to admit it or not, they're living in the 90s. And, you know, that was 30 years ago. So anybody that appears to be associated with Pete Richardson, it seems like the alums automatically give them the stamp of approval. Let's get this guy in. He's gonna replicate what Pete did. But we gotta understand the game has changed. I think you brought it up, Mr. Ford, after '99. You know, Southern wasn't as dominant, and I feel like it was because a new crop of coaches, like we had the Cole brothers, they came in at Bama State. We had some other coaches come in to SWAC with a new scheme. So I honestly just don't see anybody from the Pete Richardson era being able to, like, schematically. But you're right. We do need at least 2 or 3 dominant programs in the West because it's looking real East heavy right now.
We need at least 2 programs in the West that can win at least 10 games every year. Now, there used to be Grambling.
Right.
Okay, but it would really help if it was Southern and Grambling, or if it was Texas Southern, because Texas Southern has the funds. They got the money.
Do they have money like that? I know Prairie View, you know,
Yes,
they got a
Texas
pretty good.
Southern spends something like $12 to $13 million on sports. That's not bad.
Do you think it's because of their location and because of where they're located, they
No,
got to
I think
travel
it's
so
what
far?
you said earlier. I don't know if it was you or one of the people said it's the AD. Granger only cares about basketball. I don't think Granger has the ability to be an architect of putting together a SWAC winning football program in Texas Southern. That's beyond him.
Yeah. Well, let me ask y'all this, kind of pivoting. Somebody mentioned on Twitter, you know, I guess as a remedy to not necessarily play as many Power Five programs. What do you guys think about during Celebration Bowl week or weekend, that Chris Paul tournament that they're having in Vegas, like have that in Atlanta?
Oh,
That
that would
should
be
have been in
great.
Atlanta. That should have
That'd
been.
be great.
That made no sense.
Yeah,
That made,
yeah,
and again, you know, they like to be out in Vegas and stuff like that, and the NBA's got a lot to do with that. But that made no sense to not to have
Yeah.
the synergies of that basketball tournament in Atlanta, along with, because I love the band competition. I thought that was brilliant, and the Celebration Bowl. That should have been a total. And you sell the package where you have the games, and then, like I said, you could have had the games at night, the basketball
yeah,
games at night.
yeah.
So those
That would have
basketball
been
games
great.
should have been Saturday night. You had the
Yeah,
band battle on Friday. You go to the game, then you could have had those games at 7 o'clock, which would have been able to time people to go eat, do whatever, and come in
right.
there, and then you would have had a total. And then what the thing about it is, you could rotate. And to your point, you could rotate 4 teams in and
Yeah.
out,
Yeah,
Yep.
and you get even more fan base. So yeah, I think they missed the mark on. I mean, I understand Vegas and stuff like that because people like to go to Vegas, but I think they missed the mark on that. I think they could have had something really huge.
yeah.
They could have had
I
something
agree with
really
that.
huge.
Yeah, that would
Exactly.
have been great here.
They could have bought the D2 teams as well, because they have
Yeah,
the D2 teams in one spot, and then you got the D1 teams all the way in Vegas. Just bring them all down to Atlanta.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that would have been
Because
great here this week with that Chris Paul. That would have been great.
And I feel like, you know, it would have been way better marketed in Atlanta as
Yeah,
opposed to what we're seeing in Vegas. And, you know, I know Timona shared with you guys know earlier, but like I recently found out they're having that Legacy Classic in Newark, New Jersey. And it's Hampton and Howard did the night game, and it's Jackson State and Grambling, I think at 1 o'clock. Of course, there's a lot of East Coast alums, you know, Howard and Hampton, A&T up there that way. But I just feel like that game would probably work better in like a Charlotte or Atlanta because those markets are very HBCU dominated. So there's going to be more publicity, et cetera.
yeah,
You know, but yeah, I hope next year they'll begin to morph the whole Celebration Bowl weekend into like a whole HBCU type of event with the bands, the basketball tournament, you know, the football game. I think it'll be a good look as we transition
yeah.
into, you know,
Oh yeah.
full swing basketball. Yeah.
Remember, it's only one other city that has more black college graduates than Atlanta, and that's DC. That's the only city that has more black college graduates than Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think third place might be Dallas, Texas. What is that right, Ms. Kim?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I totally agree.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
everything Jerome is saying is just because when you got the band, and this is another thing too, and I always look at it like this. And I don't know, and I don't remember them doing it. I knew they used to do this with the Battle of the Bands. Why don't we have a school fair, or, you know, a college fair for all the MEAC schools and all the SWAC schools? They
Oh,
should have that. I don't remember. I don't think they do that at the Celebration Bowl. I know they used
I
to do it
think
for the Honda Battle of the Bands.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they
think
do.
you're
Yeah,
right because I went the last 2 years and I don't remember hearing anything about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. They should have at it should be right there in that hotel in the Omni where
Yeah.
they have college fairs, and because you're gonna have all these people, because you know what a lot of people do, and again, and I go to every Celebration Bowl, but the thing I like the most is I see people from different schools, and you know what they got? They got the kids with them.
right.
They got their kids with them. So
Yeah,
we know the hardest thing to do for a lot of these kids is to come and go to an HBCU, you know, because they get all this white media and programming and things like that. So why would you not have that right there. And again, because then you bring all the schools there, which again will help you promote the Celebration Bowl. And then you could have, because like I said, and the Celebration Bowl is, ESPN should say, you know what, we're paying for everybody's, when you, what does he call it, application fees, free application fees for that weekend.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Free application fees for that weekend, and then you have that, and then you know if you come in there, then hey, you get a discount ticket. Put them in the 300 Raptors, because then that gets more people in the game, right? Yep. So it's just things that I think we're missing on for us to promote our schools right then when you're going to have so many people just right there. That's what I'm talking about, because I want to see all these schools that have 10, 15, 20,000 students that they really could have, even though white people try to stifle us from that. So yeah.
Well, Mr. Campbell, do you believe this game will draw 60,000 Saturday?
No, because we're not going to hit 60,000 because Howard's not going to bring their number. FAMU's going to bring 35,000. That FAMU, that number is solid for FAMU. But to get the number, because I look.
How many they bring in, Mr. Campbell?
It's going to be 30. Tomorrow. Wait. If you look at any game that FAMU plays in Atlanta, now you can make your jokes, but I'm telling you what the facts are. When the 100 black man game is in Atlanta with FAMU, it was always 45, 55,000. That's just a fact. Now you can't take the facts. Now I'm telling you, it's going to be 35,000 people for FAMU at that game. I'm telling you.
So what you think we do 50? Will we do 50?
No, I don't think Howard's going to do it.
Hey, Howard has a lot of alumni in Atlanta.
They do.
I'm gonna tell y'all, anytime Howard is on like a big national stage, their alums definitely support. And what they do is, I don't know if y'all seen, Howard has, like, when it comes to their band, they haven't been consistently big since maybe about like 03 or 04, something like that. But anytime they're in the inauguration parade or whatever, bro, they coming out 250. And if you don't believe me, go back and go on YouTube and pull up Howard's band from inauguration from Obama. Like, they bring in alumni. So
Jerome, they better start buying some tickets, because as of right now, you can get tickets all day long on Howard's side. All day long.
How about your side? Is your side sold out?
Bro, they already opened up the second section already up top. That's already done. We only got one more section up top.
So let me ask, like, the tickets. Are they gouging like they did the last 2 years?
No, I saw some tickets for $55.
Yeah, and that's all on the MEAC side. The Howard people are not buying tickets.
Wow.
I saw tickets as low as $30, I think.
Yeah. No, we're not going to touch that 48 and 49 that Jackson State did. But like I say, I don't think people really realize. I think Grambling and them had 31,000. I think Alcorn and A&T might have did 35,000. That's the max.
35,000. Yeah.
That's the max before Jackson State got there. Like I said, we're going to blow that away. So I think I think that we'll get to 40.
I'm just glad to hear that they're not price gouging like they did, because the last 2 years, man, I was seeing tickets like almost $1,000.
But that's what everybody wanted to see y'all and Dion. I mean, and it was a bigger game. The hype for the game is, and I'll just be honest, it's Howard people are not even hyping this game. You know what I mean? You don't even feel the energy from it.
So you don't expect Diddy to show up, huh?
Bro, that boy ain't gonna come nowhere near Georgia. Now, here's the thing: if he wasn't in his legal, I told somebody this last night because I was doing a shit. If Puffy was clean, it would be parties every night in Atlanta with every celebrity and superstar in America there. Now, Puffy would have brought 15, 20,000 people just by himself with all the parties.
Now, I'm going to say this, though, because Diddy is not, we got to remember, this is Howard. Howard has a whole lot of celebrities, right?
Right.
So they're going to be in the house.
But I'm talking about, Drew, I'm talking about throwing the parties, though. Puffy's known for throwing the events that these people are going to go to, because what they would have done, it would have been like NBA All-Star or Super Bowl, and they would have had a whole week. Puffy takes over Atlanta, right? And he would have had every one of these people that went to Howard hosting these events every night. Right, you don't see that. I have not seen one flyer for any of that like that.
Well, and I saw Timona had put somebody's comment on the screen. I'm gonna ask y'all, because y'all, remember the '90s, Mr. Campbell, Mr. Howard, Mr. Ford. In the '90s when Howard was winning, because I remember those battles between A&T and Howard, Howard and Hampton, Howard Norfolk. When they were winning, they did have like a pretty decent fan base. Like,
you're talking about the Steve Wilson era.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Jay
all through
Walker,
the
Ted
90s.
White. That crew. Yeah,
Jay
they
Walker,
did.
Ted White.
Ted White. Yeah,
And,
they did. They did.
and
But it was
even
a president. He was the kind of fat guy named was Swigert or Siegert. He didn't like that. He basically took football down because
he
they were
did.
playing. The homecoming games was at RFK.
Yeah, and not only did he do that, Howard was, the first HBCU in 1988 to become R1. At the time, it was high research activity, but that president you're speaking about, he even disassembled that, and that
Yeah.
ultimately caused him to be ousted. But yeah, they were R1 for about almost 15 years. But I just remember all through the 90s, man, Howard, they kept a pretty solid team, and they had a pretty decent fan base. So all I'm saying, like when y'all go to Atlanta, don't be shocked if you see quite a few. Look, I'll put it like this: I think Howard will have more fans than NCCU and South Carolina State.
Well, if that's the case, then it'll be to Mr. Ford's point, it'll be 45,000 people and almost 50 then, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because what they
the
build, the media saying it's the top black private university versus the top black public university. So it really should draw more than 50 if you're gonna say it like that.
Nah, Mr. Ford, listen, I'm gonna tell you something.
Somebody in the chat said that FAMU is only bringing about 7,000 people with them.
Well, that's somebody that don't know nothing about FAMU. It's 7,000 people that's trying to get in my suite, Simona. I can tell you that right now. It's 7,000 people trying to get in my suite. So there you go. So I can answer that right there. I got so many people trying to get in my suite. Matter of fact, we're trying to get your line sis KJ down there, and she's trying to come down there to hang out with us and stuff like that. So
I wonder if you think Debbie Allen and Felicia Rashad coming?
Well, see, I really hope that the vice president comes. That's what I
that
hope.
would be big. Yeah.
But they're never going to announce that until because security concern. But she need to be on that Air Force 2, and her behind needs to be in that dome. She needs to be in that dome. For real. She needs to be in that dome.
You know what, though? I think she'll come.
I think she
should. She should.
Miss AKA, she coming.
She needs to be. I tell you one thing. We won't treat her. We won't treat her like LSU treated her. We won't treat her like Kim Mulkey treated her. I tell you that.
You talking about
we will treat her with the respect she deserves.
Madam President at the celebration ball.
Yeah, Miss AKA.
I think she would show up because I know she showed up for the. Yeah, she showed up for the AKA Boulay with President Glover. I definitely think she'll show up to the Celebration Bowl. Yeah.
And what about all them movie stars they got? Taraji Henson, was it Taraji P. Henson? All that crew.
All of them. They all should be down there. But like I say, I just think that again, you need a mover like Puffy that gets everybody going and stuff like that. So I'm not saying these people. I'm just saying I'm not saying they won't be there.
The thing that Puffy will do is have them moving in the opposite direction.
Well, now. But I'm just saying the way it usually goes. I'm not saying those people are not going to be down there but I'm talking about you haven't heard such and such is going to be here, such and such is going to be there, and stuff like that.
And you know what? I'm gonna check out the social media because I know when we were in the Celebration Bowl and the A&T was, both of the schools were really heavily promoting the event, different parties. I haven't seen Howard's social media, so I can't say they're not doing that, but I'll go check them out to see what they're doing. But I haven't really heard a lot of buzz.
Well, not to the level. Yeah, it's not. I'm telling you, it's not to the level. That's I'm here in Atlanta. I know Howard people. I mean, these are Howard first. I'm telling you, they're not pushing. I'm just shocked that even like people like, if anybody from DC know, people like Mark Barnes and those guys, right? Those super promoters and stuff like that. Mark Barnes would be down here just making $1 million off of stuff.
Right.
And and Mark Barnes owns the biggest clubs in DC. You ain't heard none of the EVIP list. Those guys that promote all that stuff up there. Abdul, that owns the clubs up there. People from DC know the names I'm talking about and stuff like that. You ain't heard none of these cats.
Let me ask you, Mr. Campbell, do you think the extra week is going to help Howard?
Yeah, no, I do.
Well, listen, man.
I have to ask that because that, to me, that's been the deciding factor in a lot of those Celebration Bowls.
I think it helps them. Yeah.
But listen, you can have 2 weeks. If you can game plan for 2 weeks for a Super Bowl, you can game plan 2 weeks for a Celebration Bowl. And again, and I think what the month gives you is health. FAMU is
fresh.
healthy.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're healthy. So I don't subscribe. And I'll tell anybody, if you watch the game, first of all, every Celebration Bowl, and this is no disrespect, A&T was the better team against Alcorn. Grambling was the better team against Central. Grambling and A&T, I still think Grambling should have won that game, but A&T won it. And honestly, you guys all know that Jack State was the better team those two Celebration Bowls. It was not even close.
Coached. He got
right.
But
what I'm saying is that's the problem. You just hit the point. It wasn't that Jack State didn't have the talent. Jack State should have beat those guys.
Yeah,
and everybody knows.
South Carolina State revealed that boy was a novice.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying it had nothing to do. I'm answering Jerome's point. It had nothing to do with the length of time. The better team won more likely than not. That's what I'm saying. The better team won. The only time the better team did not win was the two Jackson State times.
Yeah.
That's the only time the better team didn't win.
In that South Carolina State Jackson State team, Buddy Pugh put a coaching clinic on Dion. He put a coaching clinic on him.
I'm gonna tell you, Mr. Ford, and I hate to have to. I'm not defending Prime, but I will say there was a whole lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. There was a whole lot of distractions as well that week coming into that game. So, and then when you demote the offensive coordinator and put in somebody, it was a mess. So I feel like despite the distractions and the drama, and had we kept TC as OC, we definitely would have won that game.
But let me say this: that same distractions you talking about is in Boulder right now, because that mess he pulled on Sean Lewis, that was crazy.
Yeah,
them same distractions have followed that man to Boulder. He's doing that same silly stuff up there, and that's why he only won 4 games or 3 games?
4 games.
4 games.
Yeah, you can't have your coach on a jet with the starting quarterback talking about this is your new quarterback. That alone was a level of disrespect and to the Jackson State team, fan base, the alumni. That I as a person who loves Jackson State and who had, like I say, 1,000 people that went to Jackson State, that's the first thing my mother said to me. What in the hell is Shedeur there for?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, you can't be focused when you can't serve 2 masters. You can't. And Shiloh said it. So it ain't me saying it. He said it. We got a game to play, bro. Take that hat off your head. So that's that. So I'm sorry. No, that Jack State should have won that. That was an all-time great team. That was anybody follow that y'all team last year could possibly be one of the top 5 HBCU teams of all time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Because and I'm gonna make a quick point. Do y'all realize? And Mr. Ford was thinking about this. In the SWAC, there's only been, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe 3 first-round quarterbacks. That's Steve McNair, that's Doug Williams. James Shaq Harris was a first-round pick, right?
Was he? No, he wasn't first round, was he?
Okay, so that means Shedeur Sanders, who we see is projected to be. So that means that only 3 quarterbacks in the history of the SWAC will ever be first-round talent. So the fact that Jackson had a first-round talent quarterback is unbelievable. That's what I'm saying. Just the fact. That separates any other team that ever played HBCU football. That you had a first-round quarterback. Because what do we suffer most at in HBCU? Is quarterback position.
Quarterback.
The
guy we need to look up to is Pernell Dickerson, Mississippi Valley. Was he first round?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure when I look back at that list, because I was checking that, and I was trying to explain this to somebody, the level of talent that Jack State had on that team, and at the quarterback alone. I mean, you got a first round pick playing quarterback.
Oh yeah.
So,
and what's really unfortunate, I was telling some other folks, had they stayed, they would be undefeated and they would be healthy. And that's my biggest thing, just to see Shedeur get knocked around and Travis, he's got that injury. I really hate it for them. Had they stayed, they'd be healthy and probably undefeated right now. But
bro, y'all would have been averaging 50 a game.
They think about that every day. Let me tell you something. Since they've been in Boulder, Dion tells all them lies, because I always tell y'all he's a habitual liar. They think about Jackson every day because they know how good Jackson was to them.
No, Jerome, I totally co-signed it because I all I was hoping for was that Shadua stayed for the 4 years and had a Steve McNair type
Oh yeah.
season
Yeah,
with the level and then the level of talent of the players that would have kept coming.
yeah,
Yep.
Y'all could have easily went out and scheduled a low-level Power 5 team and beat them.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
it's just a fact because all the guys in Colorado that say Colorado will come into Jackson State. This ain't no secret. They
right.
said it. We will come into Jackson State, but Prime said, "No, y'all hold on. I got something going on." So that whole team that actually beat Power 5 teams would have been in Jackson where they supposed to have been. And I'm gonna tell you this, would have had more hype. I keep telling people that they would have more hype being at Jackson State.
Yes, they would have.
To your point, because that team would have had all these superstars on it going into the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta instead of sitting their ass at home in Colorado.
Right.
And the ratings would and then the ratings would have been ridiculous. So like I'm saying, yeah, so I co-sign on that 100%. I co-sign on that 100%. Because that this junior and senior, y'all would have had a powerhouse like no other.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been going to W.C. Gardner. And for people that know W.C., he had 14 NFL picks in a 5-year period. 3 of them first rounders and a 4 was second rounders. That is unheard of.
Yeah.
And, you know, the only other coach I can kind of liken it to as far as stardom and being able to bring in that level. I don't know if y'all remember Doug Williams, like his first, maybe 2001. He was bringing in some juggernauts. And then y'all remember Maurice Claret situation.
Ohio State.
He was about to transfer to Grambling. So I think the model, of course, is there. As long as we can bring in the conference, continue to bring in solid coaches who can recruit and assemble solid staffs, we're definitely going to keep this train moving forward as a conference. Kind of pivoting to basketball. I love what I'm seeing, you know, from UAPB and Jackson State's women and et cetera. Let's continue to push this conference forward because I don't think I've ever seen, and maybe because I'm a young head, but just the level of notoriety we're seeing right now and just the level of success. Like we're getting out of conference wins in men's and women's, you know, SWAC play. And like, Mr. Ford, do you know, like, have we done that in a minute? Like to see our team?
If you go back to the 70s, we had notoriety out this world, football and basketball in the SWAC. To go back to the 70s, yeah, we did. And like Mr. Campbell was saying, we had first round draft choices at quarterback in the 70s.
That's my time.
Listen, the biggest thing I say right now, and this is what I always tell Mr. Mona to tell Dr. McClellan, we got to up the salaries of these coaches in all the sports. If we're going to attract top kids, then we got to have top coaches for them. Like, so I don't know if it was you or Mr. Mona. I was hurt about Jeff Weeks not being at Jackson this year. I would like for us to get Jeff Weeks back because I'm for outstanding coach. He was an outstanding defensive line coach. Okay. And so that's the main thing we need. We need now, I'll tell anybody, FAMU has the most complete football staff. And as far as knowledge and how to do things, they got the best staff right now. We need that same kind of intuition and that same kind of knowledge at these other schools. Southern University, I kept telling people, Southern got athletes. They don't have the coaching staff. That's why I said Dooley got to go. He didn't have he brought his homeboys instead of going out getting the staff.
Well, it doesn't help that you got coaches on HBCU staff telling players to come to a HBCU so they can get coached up to go to Power 5s.
Who said that?
Coach Taylor.
Which
high school players and coaches view the landscape of college football and the transfer portal, come to an HBCU, get excellent coaching, developed, and then maybe you can transfer up. These Power 5s are coming to HBCUs daily for our players. You could
they're poaching. No doubt about that poaching.
Wait.
And they're offering money. But which Coach Taylor was that?
But he's promoting it.
Who does he coach for, Timon? Just real quick. Just who's up?
Head coach and offensive coordinator at Alabama A&M.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, Dwayne Taylor. You're talking about Dwayne.
DT.
Yeah, DT, he works for Maynard.
Yeah.
He's telling them come to Alabama A&M so that you can go to a Power 5.
Well, wait. Okay, wait a minute. Let me
Look at
give.
my screen.
No. I'm looking at it, but let me give some perspective on that. I want to make Jerome's point and Mr. 4 point, but I'm gonna use this as a point. Look at what FAMU did. They got a young, energetic coach, Willie Simmons, right? Look at what Jack State did. They got a young, energetic coach that knows the system, T.C. Taylor. What Southern needs to do is get a young, energetic coach, allow them to get their lumps. Like with TC, they say, you know what? TC didn't have to worry about looking over his shoulder about his job. No matter what would have happened, unless it totally crashed and burned, TC knows he's good, and he's going to build that program. Jack State's going to be a 9-10 win team. Same thing with FAMU. Southern. Now, here's the problem with this. The reason why he has to do that, because Alabama A&M ain't got nothing to sell. They are a losing program. They don't have any tradition. So what else is he going to sell but say, hey, we're going to be a JUCO for Power 5, you can come play? Because you can't say that at Jack State. You can't say that at FAMU. Because we have more to offer. We have more to offer. We have more to offer than to say, come to Jack State, come to FAMU, come to Grambling, and be a JUCO. I'm just being, and anybody from A&M want to argue me on this, I can go back 50 years talking about A&M football. They don't have any tradition.
JUCO Junior.
Yeah, that's an Alabama A&M thing. That ain't no HBCU thing. That's an Alabama A&M thing. That ain't no FAMU, Jack State Southern thing or Grambling thing. That's his thing.
But I'm gonna tell you though, what was sad about that, the comment he made. I'm really familiar with A&M. They got a beautiful campus, and honestly, next to Hampton,
the best facilities for one.
Yeah, they got the best facilities
of all of FCS.
Absolutely, man. Like, you're looking at the football stadium, you're looking at that new basketball arena they just built, the campus. It's not in the hood. It's in a beautiful, part of Huntsville. I mean, he could have easily had more talking points or selling points than to pivot and go that route. Like, that's wild. It'll be interesting to see what the A&M alumni feel about that, but that's not the type of messaging we need to be putting out there as a community. That's horrible, man.
Well, Jay White is right there. Jay White, you need to come up and explain this. Yeah, you need to explain this because I'm telling you, I don't see that. I think that is just a move of desperation because you know that you cannot build a program based off of what you have. That's just me.
And
I'll stand on that.
Didn't he go to Fayetteville State? Wasn't he under Coach Phillips?
Who you talking about? Dwayne?
Yeah, didn't he play under Fayetteville State?
I thought Dwayne went to Winston-Salem.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that's why I thought he came with Maynard. That's why I thought Maynard knew him, yeah.
I mean, I think he was on staff at Winston, but I think he played at Fayetteville State when
Mr. Mona pull his stuff up. He was a high flying quarterback at Winston-Salem. He threw for like 30 or 40 touchdowns one year.
Did he?
Pull him up, Mr. Mona, Dwayne Taylor. He was a quarterback at Winston-Salem. That's when Winston-Salem had that juggernaut. Winston-Salem a few years ago played for the Division II National Championship. They were defeated by Valdosta State.
Yeah, that was 2012.
I don't think he was a quarterback on that team, but he was on the team before. Pull him up, Mr. Mona. Pull up Dwayne Taylor. Because I think he played at Winston-Salem.
I missed how we came up. I was looking at something else, but I heard and up, and I just heard Campbell going in. I'm trying to figure out.
Bruh, Timona, please show Brother White his coach what his coach said. Bro, I'm not being disrespectful. It's your coach that made this post, and I want to see what you think about that.
High school players and coaches view the landscape of college football and the transfer portal. Come to an HBCU, get excellent coaching, develop, and then maybe you can transfer up. These Power Fives are coming to HBCUs, D1 and D2 daily for our players. You can be the next one.
Next one.
Okay. I don't agree with that statement per se. I mean, but I guess he's speaking from his perspective, but I was speaking on Campbell saying that we can't build a brand here at Alabama A&M. That's easy, especially in the state of Alabama. The Alabama is known for football. It's a football state. I mean, we haven't won other SWAC championships since 2006, but we could easily get a coach in here with the facilities and the facilities that we are getting and the amenities that we are adding to the football program. We could easily get a coach in here and win the SWAC. I mean, if Manor doesn't work out next year, we could easily do that. We could go outside of the HBCU realm and get a coach.
Yeah, because
That's not that's
you had Louis Cruz, you had that guy, the guy that just died. He coached back in the 80s. What was his name?
Ray Green. I
Yeah,
mean,
y'all done had some people
we
now.
we Alabama. Some people call it the football capital of the South. That used to be painted on Legion Field on the stadium itself. I mean, if Manny can't get it right next year, we would. I don't think we would have a problem with the facilities that Paul Brown is bringing in. I don't think we would have a problem bringing in the quality coach. Even if it's outside of the HBCU realm, we could get a alumni from Jacksonville State or some other PWI. I'm not saying that PWIs are better than HBCUs, but we don't even have to go the HBCU route to bring a quality coach in the Alabama A&M.
But Jay, let me get back to the point. Your coach, because I'm assuming that he's telling this to high school seniors, right? Come here. Okay, so let's just think about the progression of this. So you get a kid that's, and we know freshmen don't really do anything, so you got to build them up, right? You get the kid to a sophomore, where you're trying to build a program, and then the kid leaves. So you think that's a success model of freshman, sophomore, they leave, freshman, sophomore, they leave?
I think what it is, we've had a problem with a lot of FBS schools or P5, G5 schools coming down to A&M and scalping our talent, like scavenging for our talent. So
that was Tank Dale. Wasn't Tank Dale's one of y'all boys?
Yeah, Tank Dale, OJ, that went to Bowling Green, Abdul Fattah, Ibrahim, and a couple of other players. I mean, a lot of these FBS schools, P5 and G5, they keep their eyes on A&M and what we got here because I don't know if it's the name Alabama A&M. It's easy for us to build a brand. They always got their eyes on us. So I don't know if that comment was influenced by that.
I hate to be this guy, but wait, I hate to wait one thing. I hate to be this guy. Or is it that they believe that it's so easy to come get your players because your coaches are saying this? See,
that may be the case.
Yeah, because Willie Simmons is not, I'm telling you, Willie Simmons is not going to sit back and tell any of his players. He's going to say, man, FAMU's the best player. You stay at FAMU, you're going to get a FAMU degree, and no matter what you do in life, you're going to be successful. That's the FAMU sell point. So how is this a sell point unless you're saying that and people are like, yeah, we know we can go get their players, but they already tell them to get up out of there.
Let me say this. Wait, Mr. White, let me say this. A&M is no different with that respect to any other program because we've had a lot of cats who have left other SWAC teams to go G5, go Power 5. So here's the thing: the door to the transfer portal, it swings both ways, and that brings me to my point with Maynard. I don't think he's a problem as a coach. Like he can win. I just think sometimes you shouldn't bring your folks with you on your next journey. And I think it's time for him to adjust his staff.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not his offense, it's his defense. It's bullwhip.
I mean, we in the process, we tweaking some things here and there. Some coaches may be let go. I don't, there's some rumblings up here of what coaches have been let go. But, I mean, Maynard is trying to get another contract. So I think he'll do everything within his power to try to get that. So,
well, that statement ain't going to help. Having freshmen and sophomores lead their junior year.
Defensive coordinator away. He needs a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
That's what he needs. His offense is okay.
The Dwayne Taylor guy, didn't he have some type of position with the XFL or something like
that? He did.
Yeah, he had a stint with the XFL.
Mr. Mona, look him up right quick. Didn't he go to Winston-Salem?
No, he played quarterback for Fayetteville State.
That's what I thought.
His bio.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at Fayetteville State. I think he was on staff at Winston.
He's been at Alabama A&M from 2018 to present, and then before that, he was at Hampton, Fayetteville State, and Winston-Salem State.
So did he play at Winston-Salem?
No, he played at Fayetteville State.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I
Played
want
at
to say
Fayetteville State.
Okay.
under Coach
All right.
Phillips.
Yeah, I remember. Now, Coach
He
Phillips is
left
deceased, right?
FSU holding
Yeah,
25
he
school
passed.
records,
Yeah.
back-to-back CIAA championships in 2002 and 2003.
Jay White, I got a question for you real quick then.
He was
Why?
underneath. He was under Coach Maynard while he
Yeah,
was
he was
at
under
Fayetteville.
Maynard. Yeah.
He was
But
under him while he was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. So they have a lot of history together. But this mindset is absolutely abysmal. I don't like it.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Why wouldn't this be the recruiting pitch? Hey guy, you went to Alabama and Auburn. It didn't work there. Come here and come home and it'll work out here. Why wouldn't that be like the better pitch?
Well, you got to ask yourself, who is he making the pitch for? Because he may feel like Maynard's time is running thin in Huntsville, and he may be trying to, you know what I'm saying, be like a.
That whole staff is trying to get another contract after this year, and I mean, I don't know what it really influenced that for him to make that statement. What influenced him to make that statement? But I can't get in his head. But you know, I guess we'll see. From my standpoint, I guess we'll see. You know, but I can't say I 100% agree with it. But you know,
I mean, I feel like it's kind of like you're laying down.
Well, Maynard made a statement too one day and said the only thing that mattered was the SWAC games. Remember?
You know what? I wouldn't have no problem with that if he actually win the SWAC.
Well, he got a defense coordinator.
If you win the SWAC, that would be fine.
So Blue says that FCS coaches are embracing that mindset, though. Brandon Fisher said the same thing when I interviewed him. He said it's their job to get their guys to their goal, whether it's NFL or Power 5. So from that, the only thing that I would say about that is you're going to have to tweak, number one, the GSR and the APR. You're going to have to tweak those. If that's the type of mindset that folks are going to have, the FCS coaches and schools need to push back on how this stuff is calculated.
yeah, I mean, I can't really get into his mind about what's making him make that. You know.
Well, like you said, if he don't produce this year, Dr. Williams and them, he's from Georgia. I know him. He gonna be out the door.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, they gonna be out the door. And so this is the pivotal year. He's got to win. Personally, like I said, I think he needs a defense coordinator, and I think if he gets a defense coordinator, they roll. All right.
Now I got a question for Mr. Campbell. How likely is it for if y'all win the Celebration Bowl, Willie Simmons gets taken away from FAMU
next year?
No,
next year, not this year. Next year.
What? The leave fam?
Yeah.
You talking about leaving fam?
Yeah. Next year it'll be more like not this year. He's not leaving this year.
That point, he's not leaving fam.
No.
He ain't leaving.
It's too late. He's gone. He's gone.
Well, I'm gonna step down. I'm in the chat.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
The crazy thing that Blue said that, and I knew I thought that's who he was. That's the coach at Tennessee State that made the statement talking about Brandon Fisher said to get the guys to move up. I can almost understand that because of Eddie George playing at Ohio State and saying, you know what, hey, I can get you guys come here. I can almost understand that, but this to me is the opposite of that. It's not good recruiting. It is not good recruiting. Because the portal, see, this is the thing where I think people miss to the point. We got people that go up. Yeah, they leave HBCU. But there are a lot of kids that are in the portal that we can bring that, which we do. And that's where we have the advantage. It is a lot of kids that are in the portal that are not going to play Power 5, that could come to a SWAC team and be successful, be super successful, and get seen. And things like that.
Our pitch is come to Jackson State, come to where you are loved and appreciated, not just tolerated. come get your degree as a young Black man. Come see 40,000 people that look like you in the stands. Come be a part of the culture. This is something that, as far as like the Black culture and the hot spots on Jackson State campus, those are at all HBCUs. The thing
don't forget, we're in the midst of a golden era.
Yeah, and the thing with
there's so many eyes on Black college athletics right now in Black college universities. We're in the midst of a golden era.
The Magic City Classic that they need to be highlighting, like
they had 69,000 at the Magic City. Mr. Campbell, y'all had what, 55 or 56 down in 56,000.
Unheard of.
Okay, the Bayou Classic had 64,000.
Yeah, so like these are unheard of in the FCS, and they rival with Group of Five with attendance.
Yeah, all of the big games in FCS were Black college games.
Well, let me give you this from a football standpoint, and I'm gonna use two names that people are gonna understand because they actually played against each other: Marquise Bell and James Houston. Marquise Bell left Maryland, came to FAMU. James Houston left Florida and came to Jackson State. These guys played against each other. I mean, of course, now on the same side of the ball, they both were defensive guys. But my point of it is you got to see them. So if you got this thing about if Jackson State and FAMU has multiple James Houstons, multiple Marquise Bells, then you can't even say you can't even get to the NFL. Right. Because if you come, you're at, because see, James Houston got to the NFL because he played. Marquise Bell got to the NFL because he actually played. And so my thing is, that's the argument that you make. You could say, listen, you don't play there. You come here and play. And you're playing, and then what that does, to your point, Mr. Ford, it raises the level of competition up that we were used to in the 80s, where every SWAC team had 2 or 3 NFL players, right? So then, the scouts are looking at that. Hey, let me look at Jackson State. They got 2 or 3 guys. Man, you got 2 or 3 guys. Southern got 2 or 3 guys. So every time you're watching a game, it is well worth them to watch it. That is the better recruiting way of doing that. That is the way you do that.
Also have the Reese's Senior Bowl. What is it? Jackson State versus Alabama A&M. Don't they play at the same place where the Reese's Bowl takes place?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Lad People's Stadium. It's called Lad People's Stadium.
Points that you could come to then saying that, because who's to say that even if you are at one of these Power Fives that you're going to get the exposure and the amount of playing time that you need to get noticed? It just screams.
You got to play to get drafted. You got to play to get drafted.
And then it's not even just that. We also have to kind of, I understand that these kids want to get drafted. That's fine. But let's stop selling these pipe dreams and let them know that, above all, please get your degree. Please get your degree. You wanting to go to the NFL and get drafted, that's absolutely fine. The amount of folks who think that they're going to get drafted and the percentage, what is it, 2.6 out of high school, and then less than 2% go to the NFL?
Yeah.
Gotta stop selling these pipe dreams. And I think some of it's also the responsibility of the mindset of these parents.
Well, I don't know what they sell in Alabama A&M, because that.
I don't like that at all. I don't
play well here and go to the white folks in 2 years.
Yeah, like what is that? No.
That's Dylan Baldwin, wasn't it? Wasn't that Dylan Baldwin?
That's
the wide receiver that played at Jackson State.
Yeah, he left Jackson and went to Michigan, right?
Yeah, went to Michigan.
Basically, I want to say he got his degree.
Yeah, he graduated. He had graduated.
He got his degree, Mr. Ford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I remember that because I remember him saying Dion was he said that he was leaving. So Dion said, okay, there's no reason to keep your scholarship for the spring, because he said that he was leaving. So Dion just took it and he just was like, well, I'm getting ready to replace you with some more wide receivers. But thankfully, Dalen did get, he got his degree and he is playing, I want to say for the
Cleveland Browns?
Yeah. And Blue's right. He wanted to go home and all that, so we understand that. That was a special case. So,
I think they actually made it to. Didn't they go? They won their division.
Michigan won. Yeah, they won the Big Ten and all that. So I mean, it worked out for him. I mean, and that's to me that's different. That's different
when you go as a grad transfer.
That's different.
Evan Henry, he transferred from ULM, which is it's not a Power 5, but it's an FBS team.
Sun Belt.
He transferred from ULM. He graduated from Jackson State, and he entered into the transfer portal as a grad transfer. As long as you get your college degree, who could ever be mad about a young man playing football, getting his degree, and deciding? The same with the guy that played for TCU. He went to Jackson State, he got his degree, and he went to TCU.
Yeah, I'm just saying that recruiting. I'm just saying it's not going to be successful. So I'm just telling you, you chalk up another 4-8 season down there at Alabama A&M. I said
you might as well cut that season as a loss if that's what because then the players are not going to, their heart's not going to be in it. You have to have a player's heart in it, because if a player is just trying to get the attention of Power 5s, when he doesn't get enough playing time, he'll throw a temper tantrum. When your head is not in it, your focus needs to be, we're in the SWAC and we want Alabama A&M to win the SWAC and represent being a Bulldog. Well, this has been an eventful live, and it's almost 3 hours long. I had to put my son to sleep because he woke up. So I had to go put him back to sleep. Be on the lookout for my breaking announcement. I'm gonna do a quick live where I announce what my Celebration Bowl pick is. And during that live, I will be giving away a couple of tickets to the the Celebration Bowl. Which one is it? The Celebration
No,
Bowl?
we got to go to the band competition. I ain't buying no Celebration Bowl tickets. Nah. I'll buy you some band tickets.
I thought he was
Mona,
sweet. Yes.
Mr. Mona, it's the Rattlers by 40.
Clip this. Clip it. I got to put this in the alumni group.
Mr. Ford, you said the who?
The Rattlers.
By how
Damn
many?
you, by 40.
By 40.
Oh, well, safe travels, because those snakes, they're getting ready to go ahead and get on that plane.
That's right.
Them snakes getting ready to get on that plane. So safe travels to FAMU and to those Howard football team and the band. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. It was a great fun live, and we will see you guys on Thursday. You guys have a good night.
Good night.